Good evening, Internet. My name is Aaron Guerra, and I will be your Game Master tonight in the latest monthly installment of the Role Players Guild of Kansas City online Dread game. We're currently trying very hard to grow our channel and would love it if you could give us a follow right down at the bottom of your screen. This will help us unlock some wonderful Twitch features and hopefully bring you more live play goodness like tonight in the future. If you'd like to join us on one of these online adventures, head on over to our Discord where we'll post the signups for games and other events brought to you every month. If you're watching here after the live show over on our YouTube channel, throw us a like and a thumbs up and a subscribe, and hit that bell so we can build our channel over there. Hello, tonight, and afterwards for you to follow and click for your ease. So tonight, for your viewing pleasure, we have another installment of Dread, the role-playing game. Dread is a rules-light, theater of the mind horror RPG. Unlike other role-playing games, there are no stats, no skills. Instead, to create a character, these players have chosen an archetype and were given a series of short answer questionnaires about their character. They will be playing to develop their personalities, any secrets they might have, and do some light world building. This system is also a diceless system, so as long as the action is reasonable for the player to take, they're going to be successful. For example, if a third-year medical student with a good medical kit will want to bandage a cut on someone's arm, they're always going to succeed. Now, in Dread, if the player tries to do something that's outside of the character's skill set, that's when, in a live game, if we were sitting at a table, we would reach over and pull a block out of a Jenga tower. So for another example, if you had that third-year medical student and you gave them two sticks of dynamite and told them to go blow up a bridge, that would be outside of the skill set of most med students, so they would have to pull a block successfully out of a Jenga tower. Sometimes the that they're trying to do is very difficult, and the player may have to make multiple pulls. For example, if that same third-year medical student was trying to set a compound fracture in an arm in the back of a pickup that was going down a pothole-filled and someone was shooting a gun at them, that might call for 3 or 4 pulls on the tower to be successful. Now, I talked about if you're playing in person. Tonight we are obviously playing online, so we have to adjust the rules a little bit. So since we're playing on the internet, instead of these players pulling from a Jenga tower, they're going to be sharing a common pool of the numbers 1 to 90. Instead of pulling that block, they're going to roll a 90-sided die, and we're going to be marking down what number they roll. As long as they roll isn't previously been rolled, they're going to be successful. If they repeat a number that's already been rolled by any of the players, that player will lose 1 hit point. Each player starts off with 2 hit points for their character, and when a player loses their second hit point, that will be the equivalent of the Jenga tower falling over. When the tower is knocked over, either in a live game or online, that's the scene when the character is going to die, and I will narrate some tragic end to that character's life. Afterwards, we will continue the story, but the remaining players will have an all-fresh new set of 90 numbers, free and clear of any marked numbers, and they get to start again. So just to be clear, the players are sharing the same set of 90 numbers for all tasks. We'll only be restarting the pool or tracking when someone loses all of their hit points and that character dies. The players do have the option to refuse a roll at any time. If they choose not to make the requested roll for whatever the task is, they'll suffer the consequences. If they were trying to jump a fence, their character won't jump the fence, and maybe they'll get attacked by a dog. Alright, after that there's just a couple more rules. At any point, the players are allowed to negotiate with the Game Master in order to find things that may be in the environment. If they'd like to find a flashlight or a gun, we'll negotiate for a number of rolls, and they'll be able to find that in the environment that they're in. So for an example, if they'd like a building to have a fire escape, I might ask them to make 3 rolls in order for there to be a fire escape if I hadn't previously described one being there. If at any time the players would like their character to be extra alert or be defended against an attack they're anticipating, we'll once again negotiate a number of pulls, and we'll describe what that looks like. And the very final rule is the noble sacrifice rule. If any point in time these players think that their character might be nobly sacrificing themselves for the better of the group, they can simply tell me what that's going to look like, and we'll narrate a large narrative reprieve for the rest of the characters. In a live game, this would be simulated by the character just reaching over and knocking over the tower, but again, since we're online tonight, they'll simply just inform me that they're willing to make a noble sacrifice with their character. An example of this would be if someone was to run into a horde of zombies with a bomb, blowing up that horde and giving the survivors enough time to get away or start the car. The sacrifice will give the remaining player characters a large narrative reprieve, and if we're close to the end of the game, it might go ahead and launch the characters all the way to the end. All right, I think that covers all the rules. Players, do you have any questions?
Oh.
All right. I think we've covered all of that, so with that, I would ask you to get comfy in your seats, and I welcome you, people of all persuasions. Let's turn on the stage lights for the theater of our mind, sharpen your axes, come to grips with your phobias, and get ready to chase some ghosts, because it's time for some dread. For tonight's game, we're going to be whisked away to the roaring 20s, and all of these individuals have been reached out by a person known only to them as Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith has requested that they do a light breaking and entering job for them. They're going to be visiting a mansion to retrieve a key. Any other items that they happen to come along the way or feel they might be able to get some money for are completely up to them. And in addition to this, Mr. Smith has offered them $100 to get started and $500 on the completion of this job. We have our motley crew, and they're going to be meeting up at a diner to discuss how they're going to approach this mansion. So now we'll turn it over to our players. Who would like to be the first person to introduce their character? How about we start with Brad?
Okay.
I think we should start with Greg.
All right, we'll start with Greg. Greg,
Okay.
Who are you going to be playing tonight?
I am going to be doing the. I can't even think of the name of it now.
I believe that you are playing the cat burglar, Sir
That's right.
Julian
Okay.
Montegue.
Right. Basically, I'm not very tall, only about 5'8", and very thin. You might say beanpole if I was taller, but I'm not, so you don't. I am also triple jointed, like a contortionist, so I can get into very small places. And like I said, that was kind of what I do for fun. Also, I'm very strong, and in that I mean I can hoist myself up on a thin silk rope to like a second story or whatever without too much trouble. I'm not really strong as far as carrying a lot of stuff or anything. Just mainly I've trained to hoist myself. I do come from a rich family, so I kind of do this for fun. For the thrill of it.
All right.
And I am very aloof. I'm the best.
Right. As we switch over to Brad to go ahead and introduce, for those that are new with us, we're just describing our characters and anything that would be commonly known about your character. So if you had any secrets in your questionnaire or any things that weren't known, don't divulge them. Just give the surface, kind of what someone would know by sitting down and having dinner with them. All right, and Brad?
Yeah, so Clive Sheridan, my friends call me Fingers. I am the safecracker in the group. I have a slight build. I'm known for my patience. I'm not in the best of health. I have a frequent cough. I should really get that looked at. I have a paperboy hat that I wear commonly. There's rumors that I like to gamble, mostly casino style, roulette, that sort of thing. And my reputation is that I am a high risk, high rewards type of person. So that is Fingers.
All right. Anybody like to be next?
I will.
All right, go ahead, Wade.
My name is Wade Tripp, and I'm playing Joseph Goldman, former FBI agent. But by looking at him, you would not believe it. He's scarred up. His hooked nose has been beaten down several times. A cauliflower ear on his left side makes him a little hard of hearing. And he definitely seems sinister. think he'd be arrested rather than part of the FBI, and he has currently been removed from the FBI as Hoover has tried to increase the reputation and remove the political hacks. Though Goldman is pretty happy about how it was doing what Hoover was trying to do, except when it came to him. And he definitely wants to go back to the FBI to be one of the G-men. Next.
Hey, I'm Ryan Dry, and I will be playing Meek. And Meek is a bear of a man with a very gentle handshake. He tries to be formal, but he's kind of the guy who tries to be proper but still has that mustard stain on his shirt he's trying to hide. And he seems a bit out of sorts. Like he's, always looking over his shoulder and not sure what's going on at the moment. But he's a try-hard, polite guy.
All right. And with that, I think we have our characters. Any final questions before we begin the adventure? All right. So I bring us back to the Roaring 20s, band music and moonshine. Al Capone, the FBI G-men are all in full bloom. We're about ready to have some of our first talkie movies ever. Hollywood's been about to produce that. And we narrow in on just your classic every old corner diner where 5 men are sitting. We have these 4 gentlemen, as they've described their characters, and Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is a very tall, skinny, slender man, probably about 6'3", 6'4", with an ever-present smile on his face. But whenever he speaks, there's still a weight and a tone behind his demeanor that definitely commands your attention. And he brings you all together and says, "Welcome, gentlemen. I am very glad that you have joined me here. Do you have any questions about your endeavor?"
So out of character. Is there anyone else here in the diner? Is this after? Did you say it was after hours? Or?
Yes. It's probably dinner time. There's probably quite a bit of noise going on. You may have a table that's a little bit further in the back, but there's just general goings on, people coming and going.
There. Lots of questions. We never talked about the specific payment for this, right? And I thought maybe we would get to that at this juncture before we proceed. Jones?
Absolutely. I'll be leaving. He puts slides an envelope over on the table. He's like, "You should find in there $100 for each of you for any expenses or prep that you need. Upon completion, there'll be 5 more of those for each of you, not total. The only thing I require is that you find the key. There's a very specific key that I would like you to find, and anything else you pick up along the way or remove from the mansion, entirely up to you." And he will show you a copy of the key.
Oh, one moment, please.
Uh-huh. So he produces a photo.
Shit.
Damn. Now that's a key.
It has sentimental value for me.
Sure it does. Yeah.
We're all gonna die. Okay. He has a picture of this, so this is like a thing that we can take with us, and that writing looks like not English, right?
No, it doesn't look like English.
Or any human language.
Oh, of course it's a human language. A human had to have written that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you gentlemen are certainly welcome to stay here and enjoy your dinner and plan all you like. The bill will be on me. I'll leave sufficient money on the table to take care of whatever you have. I myself have got to get to some other business tonight, so I've got about an hour here if you'd like to ask some questions. But after that, I will see you, say, in a week's time.
Is that to establish an alibi for yourself? In case someone starts asking about where you were and if you were the one to abscond with the key?
Quite on the nose.
Well, one thing I want to make clear is no innocents will be hurt. We're here to make sure justice is done, and I
Okay.
may not have a
What?
badge yet.
I don't know how you're going to procure the key. I just know that it's at this location. Whether you bargain, negotiate, or what other nefarious means, although your reputation does
Look,
precede you.
G-Man, I'm sorry, what was it? Former G-Man, right? I don't know what's going on in the Bureau these days, but when we steal stuff, there are very often innocents who get in the way. And innocents who get in the way get what's coming to them. I'm just saying. So if you're not prepared to get your hands dirty, and from what I heard, you are, then this whole business about, I have a visitor. One moment.
You got a ghost. I seen it.
There's a
It
ghost.
just faded in and out.
Your waitress
Meek
appears
just
and brings
picks
you
him up
some
and
food.
feeds him.
I have no idea what I was talking about.
Well,
G-Man getting in the way.
well, I'm here to make sure things happen the right way, and I can't see an innocent woman killed or hurt. Seriously. Though I do understand the occasional bump and bruise.
Well, I mean, none of that would be necessary, right?
It shouldn't be.
I mean, we're just grabbing a key.
Perhaps you can make plans to evacuate the building or have everyone run away. That is entirely up to you.
Can you do you have a blueprint of the building, or have you contacted City Hall for the plans?
I have never visited there, but you are very welcome in the next week to do those things if you like.
All right.
And Meek's gonna turn to someone next to him. Wait, we don't have a plan yet?
I definitely do not want to be party to whatever you plan. Culpable deniability, you understand.
Okay.
Oh, man.
What else do you
Oh,
know
man.
about this quote building and safe? And is there
I'm
a
supposed to be
specific?
there.
Yes, my agents tell me that it should be there.
Okay.
And the safe should be located in the not lounge, in the study. In the gentleman's study.
Is anybody else supposed to be there?
I know that he has a few servants, although they may be early to bed. So it's a fairly large house, so I would expect at least a butler and a maid, and there may be some other comings and goings.
Okay. And is there any specific reason for the week deadline? Is the key going someplace in a week?
Not that I'm aware of. It possibly could, but do you think you might need more than a week?
Well, any extra details might be helpful, particularly if you're trying to make an arrangement to sell it to someone else.
Look, Jones, here's the thing. Sometimes we may have to improvise. And every piece of information you can get us that's useful, that allow this to be successful, just consider that an investment, right?
Yes, if you'd like to visit City Hall to get plans, do any scoping or casing of the joint, as I think it is said, though, contact any servants that he might have to get any routines. All of that should be able to be wrapped up in a week, unless you think you need longer.
Good in a week. I'm good for a week.
Oh, thank God.
Trying to think here.
All right. Well, unless you have any other questions specifically for me, I'll leave you to plan. And he sets like two $20 bills, bearing in mind that it's the 20s. He puts two $20 bills on the table. I think that should cover you gentlemen for the evening. Happy hunting, unless there is anything else.
How do we get in touch with you when this is all over?
I'll see you in a week.
Here.
Same time, same place.
All right.
Mazel tov.
With that, he tips his hat, stands up,
All right.
and exits.
All right, fellas.
And you guys are free to plan for the rest of the week.
Now that guy's gone, let's talk brass tacks. I'm a safecracker, right? Fine. This thing's in the study, or the library, or whatever this guy who owns the place calls it. It's bound to be in a safe, or this guy wouldn't have got me involved. So maybe the safe's in a desk, maybe it's hidden in a wall, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
My apologies. Before he leaves, he does share one more thing with you. My apologies. I was reviewing my notes. When you guys are in there, I would caution you, if you do see a painting or a tapestry or anything like that that bears a resemblance to this drawing, you may just want to, regardless of how it is filigreed or displayed, may just want to leave any paintings or tapestries alone that have this symbol. It's just kind of a rough sketch.
Hey, now I know what I'm
What's special about that symbol, Jones?
I would just consider it a kindness if we left that in place. My sources tell me it would draw too much heat should it go missing, and too many people would be looking for it.
Okay.
And would not only compromise you, but myself as well.
He seems sincere about this, or he seems like he's pulling our leg. Because I think he just might be saving the best stuff for himself.
No, he obviously has a broad smile, but he doesn't seem to be... You don't get the feeling that he's hiding anything.
And we don't get
you.
any weird, like, sick-to-the-stomach feelings when we look at this sketch?
Other than the fact, there's a strange 6'2" man asking you to steal a very odd-looking key and telling you to stay away from.
Right.
It all sounds, and he's paying you significantly well for a short deadline. Yeah, for something very easy. It all feels really weird and is just all too convenient, but not. It just.
Okay.
Yeah, you're suspicious, but nothing more than just like general suspicion.
And the understanding that we had is that anything is game except for items with this symbol, and he gets the key.
And and on top of that, you get 100 now and 500 later.
And what is this person's name?
My name is Mr.
No, who owns the safe that has the key?
Oh, this is the estate of Patrick Montegue.
Any relation?
We are not related, if that's what you're asking.
Isn't the burglar's name Montague? Did I get that wrong?
Julian Montegue. Yeah.
Oh,
is it?
I don't. Do you have any relation to him, Sir Julian?
I didn't think so, but my family is rich. I'm going to steal from my dad, man. What's going on here?
You don't ever remember someone like that from a family reunion or anything, so.
Does his name ring any bells, such as political, both in terms of banks, politician, lawyer, or is he? The name seems weird. We haven't heard of him in the city.
Or have you?
Because you are asking, Joe Goldman, if you would like to make me a roll. Actually, for 1 roll, I'll give you a little bit of information. For 3 rolls, I'll give you something juicy.
Okay, I think I'll start off 3.
All right. Go ahead and give me 3 rolls, our first of the game.
58, 19, and 47.
All right. Let me mark those down right quick. 58, 19, and 47. All right. So for you personally, since you did come in from your department in the FBI, you do know that I believe you were specifically, the group you were looking into was called the Goblins.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he would have been loosely associated with a rival group called the Stabs. They were called the Ten Stabs. They tended to deal in ancient artifacts and things like that. So it was a rival group, not dealing in the same things, but mostly trading in ancient artifacts, mostly from the Middle East and ancient Europe. So you do know that he does have direct ties to the underworld and to various nefarious people.
Okay. I nod my head and look over to the safecracker and said, like I said, I don't want any innocents hurt. But if this guy wakes up with a bullet in his brain, that may be a good thing for the rest of us.
Oh, actually, you did opt for all 3. So actually, in fact, in your investigating, other people in your department were specifically assigned to the 10 Stabs, and they did have a bad habit of leaving bodies on the floor when they were discovered. They had no qualms about just shooting their way out of situations when it got messy. But you have reason to believe that. What did I say his first name was? His last name was Montague. I think it was Patrick.
Patrick Montague.
I couldn't read my own handwriting. Patrick Montague has more or less retired from the 10 Stabs. Is it good to assume that you share this with the group?
Yes.
Okay.
You seem to know a lot about a lot of things, Goldman. But what secrets do you hold? Why'd they let you go from the Bureau? I heard it's because you had your fingers in too many things that went sideways. And here you are, preaching to us about protecting the innocent.
Okay. You feel nervous as he takes his $100 and puts it in his wallet, and he frowned. That nepotism, FBI, everything happened after things went south and Roosevelt came into office because of the quote favor system. And though it still lingers, boss wanted my nephew in, and I had to go out, particularly since I had some proof of some of the stuff that was happening with a rival group. And there's rumors of blackmail and details in that safe. Because if I can get enough evidence, I can put away that my boss who fired me and make sure.
Gotcha.
And to be perfectly clear, when Joe says that you feel nervous, he means everyone at the table feels nervous. there's kind of a strange gleam in his eye, and everybody, if you don't reach for your own $100 and like make sure that it's in your own pocket and kind of check your pockets, you have to fight the compulsion to kind of check your pockets and make sure everything's there, nothing's left, nothing's been lifted off of your body. So when he says you feel kind of nervous, he means everyone at the table feels kind of nervous.
Definitely make sure my 100's there.
Sure.
Meek's going to slide his cash over into the $20 bills that were set down there.
All right.
And order some food.
All right. So feel free to continue planning. I think a couple of you had some things that were in your questionnaire that may come up now for planning on the approach.
Said I'm going to kind of look at, go to City Hall and look at blueprints and try to see if I can. But I also want to case the joint to see if I can find anything that may be able to be opened or whatever for me to enter.
All right. If we're done with the table, we can certainly move on to those things. But anything else to discuss?
Let's all get some of our contacts and meet here back in 24 hours to decide a plan. You're getting the blueprints. I think I'm going to look into the staff, get details for the staff.
Who was getting blueprints? Was it Montague?
I will, because Montague. So I can try to figure out easy access of some kind.
Gotcha.
So I can let the rest of you in, at least for that part of it, without saying. We did find out there was no alarms, right?
In the 1920s, there wouldn't be any electric alarms, if that's what you're thinking about.
Okay, right, okay.
So I will, if you guys have that covered, Jones, I don't think I've met you. What's your specialty?
Do you mean Joe? There's not a Jones.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Meek.
Meek, he's like, well, it's not really my neighborhood. I guess we all got a job we need to do.
No, I mean, I'm your safe cracker. We got a burglar. We got John Law over here. What are you bringing to the table? Are you the wheelman?
To be clear, it's the 20s, and Meek is built like a professional, 2020 football linebacker. He is just a solid square man.
He's like a bear of a guy, but he's really kind of a softy bear.
Sure.
Right. Your role here is to look intimidating, or to beat up people, or to carry the safe if we find a safe, which I hope we do. Carry it out, or, what would you describe your role?
He's like, well, I don't do things too complicated, but I mean, things that are usually tiresome I can handle, and, people start causing problems, I can get them out of the way.
Okay. Just carrying things and being strong. Okay, got it.
You're the muscle.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked for me so far.
All right, great.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Okay, fantastic. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend some time tomorrow and probably the next day hanging out at this place, unseen-like, and seeing what I can find out about the comings and goings, people who come and people who leave the front door, and maybe the people who come out the back door, that sort of thing. So I'll reconnaissance. That's, just a sort of on-premises observation, you might say.
Yeah, that sounds good. I can do that.
No, I'm not looking for a partner. But if you want to come with and carry stuff that might come up, then sure. Just be like casual, like, right, and blend in. Actually, you're not coming. I take that back. You stand out like a sore fracking thumb, my friend.
You can go with me to the town hall or whatever. I may need. I'm a little guy. I may need some protection.
Yeah.
They get into trouble.
We can maybe do that.
All right. Sounds like we're winding up a little bit. You guys can, order dessert and maybe a couple of drinks, whatever you like to go.
They don't have my.
You want for a game of cards? Start dealing.
All right.
Like I said, the cat burglar, he's just kind of aloof. He eats his dessert and he leaves to go. Makes an appointment to see you in the morning at town hall. Meek. Meet there at 9 o'clock.
I'm not sure if I can. I'll be able to make that tomorrow, but I'll maybe day after. We got a week, right?
Well, that doesn't mean we take a week.
Yeah, well, I just got some things to do tomorrow, and basically Meek wants to show up at the house. You're gonna probably see him in like a giant hoodie, trying to be conspicuous, but he's still a giant man, like wandering aimlessly around outside.
Jeepers creepers. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll go to town hall, I guess, in the morning.
All right. So, Greg, we'll go ahead. You were last to speak. We'll go ahead and start with you. So you head over to town hall. You know a couple of people. This is not the first time you've done this. You know who's palm to grease. You've got $100 to get started. You know just the person to ask. So go ahead and give me one roll. And you step up to the counter and, Jonesy, your contact, is there. And he's like, "What is it today? What is it today, Montague?"
I'm trying to find out some information about a particular house. Just happens to be owned by the same name as me. Last name, anyway. I gotta do this. Okay. Yeah.
Kinds of a coincidence, if you ask me. I'm not there.
So you'd be looking for the layout of that the Patrick Montague's?
Need a place. I rolled a 4.
Yep. All right. Shouldn't be too hard. That'll be the normal paperwork, and he gives you a wink. So you slide over a $10 bill. Like, all right.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Say come back in about an hour.
Sure. You said about 10 o'clock then.
Yep. So you
all right.
Go grab a cup of coffee, come back about 10:15, 10:20, and he slides over the blueprints, the schematics, and I will go ahead and share with you what I've got for that. So, assuming that up is north and down is south, you see the foyer in the close to the southwest, that big open space. There's
like stairways and all that.
Yep. The very bottom southwest corner is stairs down to the basement. And then you've got a hallway with some going towards the east. You've got a hallway with a bathroom. And then in that kind of southeast corner is the study that you have probably, it's marked as like a study, so that's probably what you're looking for. But it shares a wall with a bedroom. Continuing north, there's a stairway to the attic, a couple of attic rooms near the northeast corner, and then there is a dining room and kitchen in the northwest corner. And you'll have to bear with me, a couple of those rooms, off of the kitchen you see a cold storage area, and then there's a couple of rooms there that aren't on your map that I can't block off. So those rooms that are kind of in the almost dead north aren't on your map.
Does there appear to be any like second floor balconies or anything?
There is kind of on that attic. There is a little bit of like a balcony, which is the entrance that you know about. So
Okay.
if you go up that stairwell, there's a big landing there, and that entrance point that you know about is one of those windows. Oh, I guess it's missing a door. So I'm moving my mouse pointer around like you guys can see my mouse pointer, but yeah, in that attic landing, there's a balcony and that French doors that you're looking for.
Okay. You know, this looks a lot like my house that I grew up in. It's not, but it looks a lot like it. Built about the same.
Yeah, it looks a little similar. Might have been the same builder, but different enough that it's not the exact same thing.
Right. Well, with this copy and stuff of it, everything, I'll bring this back to everybody else.
Absolutely. So you obtain the floor plan for a cool 10 spot and a little bit of trouble. You don't see any hide nor hair of Meek, but he also said he would be able to make it today.
Yeah,
so,
he said he wouldn't make it. He's going to be at the house itself.
Right.
Being inconspicuous, conspicuous.
Right. I don't know if he divulged that plan, but speaking of Meek, we'll move on over. So, Meek, you hire a car. Do you hire a car or do you have a car? Because it's a little bit out in the country.
You would like take the bus.
Take the bus? All right. You take the bus out as far as you can. It doesn't go, obviously, as far as you'd like, but you take the bus out towards the edge of town. You got a good day's worth of walking, but you put a sandwich in your pocket, a thermos, and you just, make your way out there. Long, dusty trail, just, walking along. Eventually, someone comes along heading that direction, offers you a ride. You can put your thumb out for a hitchhike. Hitchhikes you most of the way there, but I imagine you jump off.
Okay.
As you start approaching the property, any particular, you're just going to walk down the road past the front of the house, or any particular approach?
Is there anything surrounding the house? Is it just like other houses?
No, the houses are pretty. It's kind of farmland, so the houses are pretty spread out. There's a little bit of woods, but there's a good, 50, 60 yard clearing around the house. But there's some light woods if you want to try to sneak in there.
I think my first approach is I'm going to start acting like I have like the hitchhiker's thumb, but then like be really growly and scary to anyone who tries to pick me up. To try to push them on.
I see. So yeah. So this is probably getting on. It took you a while to get out there. It's probably pushing on about like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Fingers, you were gonna case the joint, or was it Joe?
Fingers. I was going to try and see if I could get a background on employees.
Okay.
Data.
So Meek is gonna make his way out there probably about like 1 o'clock. Fingers, what was your approach if you were gonna case the joint?
All right. So I'm gonna get a jumpsuit. Which is like a tan jumpsuit, and we're going to get some pins and some screwdrivers and stuff, put it in a pocket, and I'm going to get a flashlight, put it through the loop, and a clipboard and some papers and a couple of pins and a hard hat. And
okay.
I'm going to be just what would cab fare be out to this place? Ish.
Probably $3 to $4, depending.
Is this a big city that we're living in?
Yeah, you guys, this is, I think it was near Detroit.
Okay.
I had answered that. Somebody asked in our chat during the week.
That works, though. Either way.
Where we were located.
Okay.
Looking. I want to make sure I got it right. Greg, was it Detroit? Because I think it was answered to you.
Yeah, it was answered to me, but I don't know. It was somewhere in Michigan.
That's fine. If it is, I'll take a cab. A couple bucks. Not
yes,
a big deal.
It's just outside of Detroit, off the shores of Lake Claire.
You know what? Actually,
Yeah, Lake Claire. That's what I was.
Let me nix that. I'm gonna we have to establish that I've got a car. Boom, got a car.
Okay.
And so I will. It's actually a truck, an old truck, and from old by that era standards. And I will drive it out to that area, park it maybe half a kilometer away or so, and on foot. And then I will be like taking notes of things out on the road that runs past the place, and at various points on the property. I will not go on the property directly, but I will be like looking at telephone poles and electrical poles and pretending to look at those things, but actually observing the house. And I'll be doing it pretty much all day. And you know, if someone asks what's going on, I've got a story ready. And then based on the situation, I may go on property. So it just kind of depends on what I find and what I see when I get there.
Okay. Well, you head out in the morning and you start, counting telephone poles, as it were, kind of inspecting them, parking beside one, making some notes, staring at the house. Probably sitting for long times inside the car, just staring at the house, maybe even bringing some binoculars. And you're about, you're on the far side of the house when you start seeing this big bear of a man start to kind of walk down the road, and you've got a pretty good sneaking suspicion that it might be Meek.
What is Meek doing here?
Yeah.
I got my binoculars.
Meek, you obviously see like kind of a pickup, very old pickup, because this is the time of like the Model T. Ford and his Model Ts are just starting to come out, so it's a fairly older vehicle. You see it parked off to the side of the road, and there's like somebody sitting in there. As you're kind of walking and approaching approaching the house, somebody else comes up, and you're putting your thumb out, and they like offer you a ride, and you just pretty much just straight up growl at them, and they just and drive away. Women clutching pearls, and
it's like, I'm in a hurry.
Well, I don't know that we're going that far. Have a good day, and speed off. Speed off as much as a Model T can speed off.
What is he doing?
Yeah, I like kick at the dirt while they're driving away, and then just put my thumb back out.
Like it. So far, as you've been walking up, and Fingers, as you've been watching the house, seems rather normal. You've seen like a butler come out. He arranges tea out on like the porch, like for a morning tea, and an older gentleman, moves a little bit slow with age, but still moves, not walking with a cane, comes out, sits for a while, has some tea, has a snack, and then goes back in. The butler clears away the plates and brings them back inside. You do see like there's some servants' quarters out the back, in the back of the property, and like a woman walks to and from a couple of times, probably puts out some clothing on the clothesline, and brings them back in eventually a few hours later. But just kind of the normal comings and goings of the house, nothing too abnormal.
Okay. I've established through the course of the day that there are 3 occupants: the butler, the maid, and presumably Mr. Montague, and that there are 2 dwellings out back, one for the butler, one for the maid. Sorry. Okay.
Correct. They're kind of built together, but it does look like it's kind of separated. So it's like 2, maybe like 1 or 2 bedroom apartment style, what we would consider like an apartment style.
And
so they've got 1 roof, and they've just kind of divided.
Is there a garage for vehicles?
There is sort of a garage. Meek, would you like to fill us in about that garage?
Yeah, so part of the background story. Do you want me to tell that then?
Yeah, just describe it.
Okay, so what happens is you see the old man go into the car, and the engine starts for a little bit, and you see him like, thinking about other things and whatnot, checking his mirrors and maybe like, making sure his hair looks good. And then he hits the gas and he drives right through the wall of this kind of like outer shed garage and just drives right into it, just blasting a big old hole. And then you just see the old man just stuck there for a second, and you probably hear him have some rough words, slamming the door shut on the outside, kicking the tires.
What in the...
So, yeah, this probably happens about like 3 o'clock or so. So, Meek, you're just about getting past the house, but yeah, and you hear all of a sudden the boom of like the car striking the garage and like wood breaking and some metal bending.
Guy's not driving my car.
I tell you what. I'm when that happens, I'm going to take that opportunity to run onto the property and offer assistance. Yeah.
Sure.
So run up, got the clip pad and the stuff, and are you okay? Are you okay? What was the noise? What happened? Holy, look! Did you drive through that? What happened?
This foul machine. Gosh, what? Thank you for your concern, but it appears that I've driven my car through my garage and will have to get it repaired.
You think?
I appreciate you so much. Yes, I'm fine. Just these contraptions. Meek, it looks like you ran over as well.
Yeah, if I run over, how many rolls would it be for me to just pick him up and be like, you need to sit down, sir, and just pick him up and like walk him in?
Oh, just he's gonna protest a little bit. Yeah, just to kind of get over there and give me one roll.
Okay.
Because he's gonna be. It's not so much that it's difficult for you being a bear of a man, so much as you're having to keep him from like, he's trying to fight you out. Like, put me down. What do you do?
You could be hurt. You need to sit down and like just try to put him in a chair and just kind of like look around a tiny bit.
All right. So let me get the.
Looks like.
So there's probably
6-7.
Yep, I got that. So probably a chair in the foyer there. So you pick him up and walk him around to the front, and he's like, What are you doing? Put me down. There's no call for this. Unhand me, sir. And you set him down in a chair. I thank you for your help, but I'm quite all right. He stands up and like brushes himself off. As you're kind of looking around, it looks like just a nice foyer. There's some nice art on the wall, probably some vases on coffee on end tables. Looks like the candles and the chandeliers and things have been freshly rotated.
And then I'll just kind of like if I have like a hat or something or nod, be like, well, I'm sorry, I just don't want you to fall or something. I mean, that's some pretty big damages there.
Well, I appreciate your concern, but I'm quite all right. Thank you very much, but I would offer you a ride back into town, but I seem to have twisted my car, so I don't know that I'd be able to do that. So, do you need me to call for a cab for you?
That would be great. I'd really appreciate that.
Lance? Yes, sir. Lance, call these gentlemen a car so they can be taken back to town.
I'm outside. I'm outside, and when you're done here, we can get to that.
All right. Call this gentleman a cab and get him some tea. So you may make yourself at home here. Thank you very much. I'm going to go change my clothes and get myself something to calm my nerves.
And I'll ask him like, well, I mean, I don't know how much it would cost you. I've never really done paperwork in my life, but I do work on things.
Oh, are you part of a construction company? A handyman, is it would?
Well, I mean, I'm a handyman in training. You know, I guess my boss looked at me and thought he could get something out of me. So, you know, I pick stuff up for him, but I'm learning.
Leave your number with Lance, and we'll contact you for an estimate. So, thank you very much. You were very kind, and I will bid you good day. And he'll make his way through one of the through the door towards the you see into the dining room. So you see as he opens the door, and there's a dining room there, and he shuts it behind him. Nice big solid oak table with matching chairs. You know, a beautiful runner going down the length of the table.
I don't know if like Meek would think of this, but I also just kind of want to know: do I see that symbol anywhere?
You don't see it in the foyer, no.
Okay.
All right, and then Fingers, what are you doing over by the garage, the partially destroyed garage?
Okay, so as soon as he picks up the old man and heads off, the old man fussing about it, after there's a moment of complete astonishment on my part as to and incredulity as to what's happening with this improvisation, I poke around the garage, see if there's anything noteworthy in there. Try to get a handle on this guy's like if there's anything of interest here other than, you know, wipes to wipe down greasy hands or whatever. And
can I run over there to him and be like, actually before writing the note, and run over to him like, oh, they're fine, and like start conversation with you?
Well, he's gonna have a few minutes by himself, so as you're kind of looking around this garage, it doesn't have like any tools or anything. It doesn't look like this is like a working garage. It's, you know, everything's very clean. It looks like it's more just like storage,
well,
boxes,
that's
steamer
the thing.
trunks.
Does he store? Is it used for storage? And I want to poke around a little bit. I think if it is.
All right. Is there something specifically you want to find?
Just if anything of interest. Nothing specific that I'm looking for.
All right. So opening up the various steamer trunks and maybe kind of poking into various like cardboard boxes and things, you're finding like some winter clothes. It looks like maybe some winter clothes are stored out here. A couple of cans of like oil and things like that for the car. But no like tools to like do his own maintenance.
Okay,
but
understood.
Just has a couple of those things.
And in the car, was there anything? Was he taking something somewhere?
Looking in the car, no, it doesn't look like there was anything in particular in the car. He didn't, maybe out for just a drive or going into town for a meeting, but he didn't have a briefcase or he wasn't transporting anything.
Okay. So I'm going to take this opportunity to poke around the property. I figure I've got, from the beginning of this incident, I figure I've got 5, maybe 10 minutes total to scrounge through the garage real quick, to the car, and then you know, make a circuit around the property, that kind of thing. So
Yep, that's probably about the same 5 or 10 minutes that Meek is going to be talking in the foyer. So yep, you take a walk around the property. You're able to kind of peek in the various windows, so you also get kind of a feel for the layout. You spot the study. You kind of spot a bedroom, the kitchen, the dining room, and the foyer, and then a little bit of that like staircase going down probably to the basement. The study. Let's see. Trying to think. The study has a large circular rug in it that covers almost corner to corner, wall to wall. Inside you don't take too long, but you do see like some display cases with like bell jars, the big bell shaped tall jars. There's some things on display in there. You don't take too long to kind of look in and really analyze, but there's like 2 or 3 different like pillars or posts that have got things on display inside there. You see a large like a large, what it would be like a record player. That's the word I'm looking for. Like a large like record play, a Victrola off to the side. It looks a little strange. Like that Victrola looks a little too big, or just an odd size. 3 or 4 different pillars with things on them, the large circular, and then like a bar, some very comfy chairs, and like a desk.
The window that I'm looking through looks like it would. Does it have a lock?
Yes, it does have a lock, and it is currently locked if you happen to just kind of push it right quick.
All right, and I will take note of the type and whatnot, and I'll bring that back to our buddy Montegue.
All right, sounds good.
I had one quick, very short thing I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. If I see you, I might be like, "Oh yeah, they're fine," and I'm gonna try to whisper to you and be like, "What's your phone number?"
I don't have a.
I just need your phone number. I don't have a phone.
So as you're completing your circuit and kind of coming up to the porch, you kind of Lance escorts Master Montegue into the kitchen to get him something to calm his nerves, and you've got just and as you look out the window, you see Fingers kind of rounding the corner and coming up on the porch. So Meek kind of rushes out quickly and asks you for your phone number.
No phone number, Meek. Just meet back at the joint tomorrow night, same time. Remember?
It's like, well, they need a phone number for a repair guy.
What?
They want a repair guy.
I'm not a repair guy.
Okay, well, I guess I'll write my mom's number down or something. I don't know. And then I'll just, head back.
I give him the name of, it'd be like Sterling 426 of the garage that I get my car fixed at. How about that?
Okay.
Sure. All right, and you've probably done this before to Sterling, so Sterling knows. He occasionally takes notes, takes messages for you. So.
Yeah.
All right, so he does give you a phone number. And
okay, yeah, I just scribbled down whatever I hear.
All right, you wander back in, and just as you're just closing the door, that's when Lance, pushes open the door from the dining room, and you see Master Montegue sitting at the table, and he's got some fruits and berries and things on a tray, and he's just kind of sipping on what's probably, you see a coffee pot sitting there, so he's probably having some coffee, trying to calm down from this. Can I have your number for the repairs?
Yeah, and I'll write down that number. And I was like, yeah, call this guy, and I'm sure he can get here probably. I mean, we're pretty busy, but maybe by the end of the week.
Very good. We will be in contact with you within the week for an estimate.
And I'm just muttering to myself, I hope that was a real number. I hope that was a real number.
You are welcome to wait in the foyer or out on the porch, and I will call for you a cab.
And I'm just I thank you so much, sir. I'm glad. If it's the butler, I'm glad he's okay. Or if it's him.
Thank you very much, and good day. And he wanders up the stairs out one of those doors. If you do just kind of wait in the foyer, it takes about probably a better part of an hour for a cab to show up. But you see, a yellow checkered cab show up. Or no, it wouldn't be a yellow checkered cab because that's too. So it'd probably be just someone pull up in a Model T and just start idling outside the. All right. And so So the Master Montegue has hired a driver, and he'll take you back to Detroit, back to the town. Right. And Fingers, anything else you want to finish up as your case in the joint?
Well, with that, I take that opportunity to walk back out to the road, and I'm walking, like I don't have a care in the world, and I'm not in a hurry. I'm just, it's been a long day doing this, and kind of casual walking.
Sure. You observe the house. The windows aren't closed, so you do see him sitting in the dining room for a little while. Finishes his snack, calms down a little bit, goes in the foyer, makes a couple phone calls, and then heads to the back of the house. Comes back and has dinner if you stay long enough for him to has dinner in the dining room with just him and his butler, and then retires to his bedroom depending on what time you actually leave the area.
I'll hang around through the evening. I'm very curious what happens if there's visitors and what time he does dinner and I'm trying to get their patterns.
Sure. He takes dinner probably about 5 o'clock, maybe a few minutes after about 5 o'clock. The two of them sit down and just have a casual conversation and have dinner. Probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock, just as things are getting kind of dark, a man drives up in another car and comes out and looks at his car and looks at his garage, mostly paying attention to the car more than the garage. So you think maybe this guy might be a mechanic or something. Lifts the hood, looks at the car, kind of checks it out, and then, And then after about 30 minutes or so of kind of looking at the car, jumps back in his car and heads back to town.
Yeah, I'm covering that.
Right.
JVC.
Sure. Shortly after dinner, probably about when it starts to get dark, you start to see like a few candles moving around on the first floor back towards the bedroom, and then those candles go out, and you can see both the maid and the butler walk out to their servants' quarters in the back.
Okay.
Right. Meek, did you do anything else with the evening after you get back
No,
to town?
I think Meek has had his fill, so
Okay.
he's kind of just probably staying up late, hoping that whatever number thing worked out.
All right. So then, Joe, you were going to try to find some information out. What were you looking for, and who do you talk to?
Local police, going flash. My badge said, hey, got some weird information. Hoping you could give me some information on down low for this house. Give the address.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering if there's been anyone nosing around or any yentl that I can question to see what's the news around there, if anything strange or unusual has been happening.
All right.
It's nothing official yet. I hope to make a big arrest, Ed.
All right. So you're at just the kind of comings and goings. Let me see.
Any unusual or criminal activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I will describe the stabs, I believe is what you called the group.
The 10 stabs. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me... Yeah, I'll say probably the same thing. For one roll, I'll give you a little bit of information, and for 3 rolls, I'll give you something a little bit more.
Want me to do 1 or 3? Any preference?
Like he's asking the group.
Yep. Mind if I get 3, or am I being
Okay, 3's a lot.
wild?
But roll on.
That's your call,
I like
man.
3.
That's what you want to
It's
do.
around you. If you want to do it, do it.
Okay, I'm just afraid I'll hurt others, but
If that's the game.
Yeah.
78
When you have the opportunity,
42.
you can take it.
and 39. All right, those are all unique numbers. All right. Yeah. So you start asking your various contacts. You describe the 10 stabs, what you know about them, like the things that they were involved in, and yeah, he comes back and he's like, there was a report of some officers going up there and investigating some stolen property from the local docks, and they've been ordering a lot of food. So there's been a lot of food going up to the house, and some various parties and socialites in the last month or so. So there have been a lot of goings on. It's been kind of ramping up. So coming up, just a couple of days ago, like last week, they had 3 different parties or 3 different meetings at that house. And then the week before that, it was only 2, and then the week before that, it was 1, and then it kind of was every other week. So the Master Montague has been having more and more people at a greater frequency over at the house. There's been a lot of food going in, and there was, and the police did visit him to ask him about some missing property that went from the docks.
okay. Is there a
yes.
particular day that you think the parties occur? And what was the class? Upper class, lower class?
It was a mixture of classes, and for 3 rolls, you also find out the things that had gone missing from the docks were some items for French military uniforms and French military weapons and medals from about the time that the U.S. was being colonized. So, what would that be? The 1700s, I think that is. I'll try to get a better date from there. But yeah, so some French military uniforms and medals and personal effects of some soldiers from, I believe, the 1700s.
Okay, but no idea on a particular day of the week that they'd have this.
No, they didn't seem to be coming in at a consistent day of the week. Yeah, and it was right about the 1700s, like 1710, 1715.
No, I'm talking about the parties.
Right, but I was getting the year. So the French military uniforms were from the 1700s, the 1750s. No particular day and no particular time. Just kind of...
They throw parties in the house and a whole bunch of people come in.
Mm-hmm. And they've been gaining in frequency. So he just had, like last week he had 3 parties, and the week before he had 2, and the week before that 1. So they're gradually ramping up.
Mazel tov. And
any other questions? Or
is there anyone else that you trust who would be a good yentl or busybody to talk about the neighborhood in that area? Someone I could contact.
Well, I'm sure he's got some neighbors, but I don't know no one personally.
Okay. Thought there might be someone who seems to have their nose in everyone's business and could contact and see the latest gossip. But thank you.
Not my neighborhood. Could certainly venture out there, but I don't know no one. All right.
And after that, I'd go back to the diner where everyone else is.
All right.
And I'll slip a $10 if they've got a coffee pot thing to pay for coffee or etc. I'll put some change into there, a couple dollar bills.
All right.
From my own wallet as a thank you.
All right. So it looks like it's about 7:15. How about we run till about 7:40ish, and then we'll take like a 15-20 minute break. That'll probably get us through all the preparation, maybe get us into the start of the house. So for anybody who needs to like do a bio break or grab some dinner or something, we'll take a break at about 7:40. With that being said, if there isn't anything, if everybody's done their things for this day, we can move to the dinner meeting where you all meet up at the diner to discuss anything.
All right.
Back at the same diner, big band music playing.
Oh, good.
It's bustling with dinner, all the dinner guests, and you're able to get that same booth a little bit out of the corner, a little bit out of the way with the noise of the dinner to cover anything, as long as you keep your voices down a bit.
I make sure to grab a napkin and a pen. That way I can write some notes and, if needed, have it easily destroyed.
Okay.
Fingers is very late, depending on the time we were originally meeting, right? Because I have.
Oh, right, because you're
observing the house. Yeah.
Right, because if you stayed all the way until the lights settled down and everything, that's about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So you guys probably set it up for late dinner, which is probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So yeah, Fingers, you're probably going to miss this because there'd be travel time coming back. So it's just the 3 of you. It's just Joe and Jillian and Meek.
So what time
at
did the old man retire? And what time was it?
Probably about like 6 o'clock, 6:30 when it started getting dark, and then the butler and maid moved around a little bit, kind of settling the house, locking it all up. You did notice, watching in the evening, you did notice that they like went around the first floor of the house and like shut all the storm shutters, and like shut all the storm shutters around all the windows on the first floor, and then went
That
back to their own
requires them to go
apartments.
outside. Is that right?
Yeah, they did go outside and secure the storm shutters.
That seems. Is that a thing that people do?
I mean, storm shutters are a
Well, I
thing.
know, but I mean,
but
it's not. It's not raining tonight.
there were no reports of a storm coming, if that's what you're asking.
That's why I'm at.
So,
it seems unusual to me.
Yeah, it is unusual that they would shut when there's not, like, when the sky isn't dark or there's no reports of a storm coming. But yeah, they do go around and shut up all the storm shutters.
So about an hour after that, I will head back into town, and I don't know what time that's going to put me back at the place, but I will definitely be late. So.
Yeah, that'll probably put you, with the travel time and Model Ts not being as fast as modern cars, that'll probably put you back in town about 10 o'clock. So unless these guys hang out pretty late, because they're probably meeting about 6 or 7 o'clock, unless they stay pretty late, you're probably going to miss them for tonight.
I'll swing by that
Right?
place anyway when the time comes. So.
Sure, sounds good. So come about 7:30, all three of you show up at the diner. Fingers is obviously absent.
I look at the group and say, hey, we've got a few different ways of doing it. We can bust in herd, make noise, and just go in, grab it, and go out. Sneaking in during the night when
Thinking
everyone's
sneaking is what I do best.
And at this point, I'll relay and I'll be like, I'll tell the whole story of taking the man in and what I saw. And I'll just be like, but I mean, you said he'd call that number from Fingers and maybe try to schedule something.
also
Found
there-
out there's looking at the deals. I think I can pretty well sneak in on the second floor. I come down and let you all in.
Oh, there's also the party aspect, of which we could sneak in and then wait for things to calm down and people leave, and then exit out of a closet and get it.
If I share the number with the group, is it anything they recognize?
Yeah, you probably recognize it. I think Figures, I think you said it was a local garage.
Right.
Yeah,
Would
so
it be
if it was-
somewhere where I would go? I mean, is it a very nice place? Because I got a fancy car.
no, it's a little shop in the bad part of town.
Oh, well, then I wouldn't know it. I'm aloof. I don't
right.
know it.
So Meek and Joe, you may know the place. What's the name of the place, Brad? Just make something up.
It was Salvatore's garage.
Salvatore's garage. So, yeah, you do recognize it as Salvatore's garage. You may have been there once or twice for one reason or another. He probably has like a poker game in the back. So,
Yeah, so Joe,
bit of
I'll try to
poker hall.
convince you and be like, hey, maybe I'll tell him I missed the number and found his place and we're waiting for a call. Can you take that and take this job?
Was that a question for me, or who were you?
Or Joe, I thought.
for the people at the table, Joe,
Or someone,
Julian,
yeah,
and
who could
yeah,
take
and
that
Meek.
call and maybe get us an in.
Meek is explaining that, you could take a repair job to repair the garage. So if you wanted to get in under the guise of being repairmen trying to reset the garage, rebuild the garage. That's the word I was looking for.
Sounds like a lot of work.
That's not the kind of thing I'm expert in. I'm more in the dealing with the more stuff, so I could pull it off, but I could try.
Well, I mean, if none of us know how to repair anything, I guess maybe it's a bit too far of a long shot I was going for, but it was worth a shot, maybe.
Yeah, if you could get him to accept it, we'll try it if he calls that number, but
You need to.
Okay.
This is a joke anyway. But we need to get something broken inside that we can repair.
Well, like I said, I can get us in.
Yeah, it gives you time too.
Yeah, I can get you into the place. But, then you guys can take over. But I can sneak us in. I can do that much. Not a problem.
Well, I was thinking we could sneak in during one of those parties, but
Wouldn't have to sneak. Wouldn't have to sneak in then, right?
yeah, we just wander in with others. But it depends on how fast you want to move it. Because it sounds like makes you not one to wait around.
All right, do you guys hang out at the table long enough for Fingers to join you after 10 o'clock?
Most likely, and I'll look at the plans, and I'll ask Meeks, hey, what about the neighbors? Presume this isn't the only house on the block. Any stores, neighbors nearby?
Not a whole lot around. I mean, I was walking up and down a dirt road in front of their house. Nothing too close. I mean, they got a big house. They got a big yard, too. At least that's the gist I got.
Did you check for wires? Telephone and electrical. One thing we may want to do is yank the telephone so they can't call for help. Or police.
I'll have that. I'll have that
Information
information when I get there later tonight or tomorrow when we talk or whatever. But Meek probably would have seen a phone or something in the.
Yeah, there's a phone on a table in the foyer. So yeah, Meek, you saw Lance the butler use a telephone to call a car for you. So they have a telephone.
Yeah, I feel like Meek would try to explain the place, but he'd be really bad at it. He'd be like, well, there's a table in this corner. And then there's a big painting in this corner.
Well, I was thinking back kind of the phone line between the house and the pole.
If you can show it to me, I can pull it out of the wall.
All right.
I winced my head and said, if we're caught, at least Meeks can't flip and they'd have a reliable witness. They wouldn't have a reliable witness on it.
I don't know. There was these 3 other guys. I don't know.
So you guys hang out till about 9 o'clock or so. You guys hang out till 9 o'clock or so, eating various things, ordering dinner. The manager comes up and hey, we normally close at like 10 or about 9 o'clock. And you guys slide him a couple of 20s, and he's like, I see. Stay here as long as you like. I'll be in back. So Fingers, when you come up, you do see that the sign has been turned to close and the door is locked. But just a quick glance through the window, you can see the 3 of them still sitting at a booth.
Go on in.
So you're able to rap on it. One of you walks up and unlocks the door and lets him in. So you guys have got some time.
Fellas.
You guys have got some time sitting in the diner with it all cleared out. You can hear them cleaning and doing some prep for the next day in the kitchen, but you're alone in the diner for the time being.
I need a drink. What's this place got? Is there a bar or is it just coffee?
It's just a typical diner. No bar.
It's not a speakeasy.
No.
That we know
come
of.
on, everybody. There's a little something back there.
You guys could relocate to a speakeasy.
I'm looking behind the bar for something quick. I know where they keep this stuff. Nothing?
Sure. You're looking for a bottle of pop or a cup of coffee.
No, I'm looking for a bottle of Jack.
Oh. If you want to find something like that, I'd probably have to ask you for a roll. But you can find a couple of bottles of soda and probably some cold coffee that's been, the warmer's been turned off, so it's kind of room temperature coffee at this point.
That's a price drink.
All right, well, I'm wow, what a bunch of this place is the worst. And I'm okay, well, look, here's what I got, and I tell them what I found, which we've largely already kind of gone over. and I hear what they have to say.
To summarize right quickly. Yeah, to summarize right quickly, he tends to take dinner. You observed him taking dinner about 5 o'clock. Seems to retire about 6:30. Some candles and lights go around the house for about another hour or so. They shut up all the storm shutters, and then the butler and the maid retire to their quarters, and all that's wrapped up by about like 8:30, 9 o'clock or so.
Other than the telephone line, was there electric? Was there electric power or gas or anything of the modern age?
Did you want there to be?
I'm just asking because they went around with candles rather than using lights, gas or electric. So I'm trying to figure out if they actually don't have gas or don't have electric lights, right? Which is kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, this house is outside of town, so yeah, it's probably an older house. So yeah, no, it doesn't have any gas lines or electric. It's just got the one telephone line. That's the one utility that's been added.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, so I relay that. Talk about what was in the garage. Talk about what was in the car. Nothing. Talk about the property, the outhouses, or the servants' quarters, the outbuildings, and the windows and the locks on the study, and what I saw in the study, and the patterns, like we were just talking about, of when he retires and what the servants do and that sort of thing. When Joe talks about parties, I'm like, this old guy, I don't think he would survive a night of parties. I mean, he goes to bed at 6 o'clock.
Hey, that's what contact said. He seemed trustworthy. They knew it, and that there was some trouble about it.
Trouble?
It wasn't. Yeah.
Like what?
Some stuff from the docks being taken in, old stuff from colonial times, French metals,
What?
weird
Hold
stuff.
on. You're saying that the old man pinched some stuff at the docks and antiquities, which is kind of his thing, right? And that they know about it? They suspect him?
Yeah.
This old guy doesn't know.
Nothing, of course, was found. Nothing was substantiated. But yeah, they went out there to speak to him about a theft at the docks of French military uniforms and a soldier's personal items.
Gotcha. Well, that doesn't. The old man didn't seem like he was. He must have paid a bunch of people or something. He must have paid a team. Wasn't you guys, right? Because it wasn't me. A little curious now. All right, that's what I got.
Something about this place ain't kosher. But one thing is...
Well, they shut the storm windows, right? So either they don't want people who might be sneaking around looking in, or, I mean, why would you shut the storm windows unless there's a storm? Is that a thing that country folks do?
We seeing, was there any kind of rituals or anything they might have been doing to...
Rituals? Like what?
Supernatural type stuff.
What?
Well, I mean, you might not want.
I do know there's an Indian mound close to there.
The old man was not doing the Eucharist in the foyer, as far as I could tell, right? Or in the study. I got nothing on any rituals.
I mean, you got raccoons out there. I'd close my doors too.
Well, they had the windows locked, and I tell Montague that it was like a Type 7 slide window lock, like you get the hardware store, right?
Well,
Yep.
Dude, there's a second story balcony that is not locked.
Yeah, I didn't get any info
You'd
on
find
that.
that
So if you figure that out, then maybe the second floor is the best way.
If we're going to sneak in, that's the way to
Yeah.
sneak in.
But you mentioned these parties. When's the next one?
wouldn't say. Sounded like there'd be at least 2 or 3 within the next week, but
Well, that's one every couple of days. That's going to kill that old man.
unless it's a stick.
A stick.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah,
Is that
active
cobbling
routine,
go?
some sort of
What is that?
stick. It's an act routine.
I don't know. Well, look, parties don't just happen without invitations. Somebody knows something, or there wouldn't be anybody there. I think we need to do a little legwork around town, figure out when the next party is, and glom onto that.
Well,
All right.
Sounds good.
So you guys want to rattle the bushes and see if you can find out some information about the parties?
Montague, look. You know about this party, right? Or you know people who do.
Pretty sure I do. I can find out something.
Yeah, find out when the next party is. Everybody's going, right? You're somebody. All fancy. Fancy garage.
I don't got a fancy
A
garage.
fancy
I got
mechanic
a fancy car.
at the fancy garage. That
Right.
takes care of the fancy cars.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, them fancy
Right.
people.
Yeah. So I'll
Well-
start kind of phoning a few contacts the next day because
Okay.
it's a little late to be bothering them tonight.
Yeah, it's probably like 10:30, pushing 11 o'clock by the
So
time
I
you guys
will.
get a chance.
So like I said, I will get up early in the morning and start calling a few acquaintances, see if anybody's heard anything about any party going on.
Okay. So you all kind of call it a night and head your separate ways? Are you going to meet for lunch, or when's the next planning session?
Say late afternoon,
Yeah,
maybe.
probably good.
Give me time.
All right. So you make
All right.
make plans to go ahead.
one
I'd
thing
say I'll be there. Or maybe someone else spoke.
yeah, I'll be there. But one possibility is after a party, won't be much people. During the day, they're expected in broad daylight. We go in, knock off, tie up the help, and have free reign during the day.
Hey, look, Goldman, I know that, you put away a lot of folks over the years, but I gotta tell you, you don't have what we call the criminal mind, right? Now, what you want to do is you want to go into the party while there's people, right? So if you make noise, it's no thing. And if you run into somebody, there's supposed to be people there. So you just tell them you're with the party and you go about your business. And you kind of slink off into a room where maybe nobody's at. Or you make a distraction. You spill a drink. You spill a tray of food. Okay, you gotta think like a criminal to be a criminal. Goldman. Stop thinking like a cop.
All right. Well, come the next morning, Montague, Sir Montague, you make some phone calls and start trying to go ahead and give me a roll to reach out to various folks and find out what is going on.
Here we go.
So you start calling some people and asking the movers and shakers about to see, and you do find out that there was an invitation sent out for, let's see, you guys met Mr. Jones on Sunday and then Monday, so today is Tuesday. There was a party 71. There was a party scheduled for Wednesday, which would be, today is Tuesday, so that would be tomorrow. There was a party scheduled for Wednesday, but announcements have gone out and it has been canceled. And there is another party that is scheduled for Friday. So Wednesday's party has been canceled, and then there's going to be just a general invitation dinner party for Friday.
Possibly got an invitation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You want to procure an invitation?
I want to see if there's a possibility I've got an invitation.
Oh, I think there's a very good possibility.
You have not been sent one as of yet, but you do know someone who has been invited. You could possibly get one of your forgery experts, so someone you know that does forgery and counterfeits, to make a counterfeit copy. So you borrow the invitation from your friend and make and counterfeit a copy, but that would cost you 3 rolls to both borrow the invitation and get a counterfeit copy of one made.
Rolls. Anything to kill us?
You know what? I'm going to do it.
All right. So you reach out to some of your contacts, and you find someone who's got an invitation. You borrow it for a couple of days. It costs you like $25 for a rush job through your counterfeiter. But he starts working. It's got some engraving, and starts getting it all done. He's like, I can have it to you by Saturday, and you're like, nope, need it by Friday. It's like
early Friday.
All right. And he just immediately starts breaking out his various inks and papers, and he shoos you out the door. He's like, well, then we gotta go. I gotta go pick up some paper. He shoos you out the door, and you head out. He heads out to the office supply store to get the papers he needs and the ink. And he's like,
okay,
it won't be ready before lunch.
81 and 46.
Yep, got those. None of those are all those are unique.
Good.
Yep, no matches so far. He says, yeah, lunchtime on Friday. That's as fast as it's gonna get.
Okay. Well, I'd start getting my suit ready.
All right.
Of course.
So this is Tuesday afternoon, and you guys meet back up.
Can I get a +1?
Yes. Yeah, the invitations are +1.
I'm gonna take in one of my cronies here.
Sure. All right. So it's Tuesday afternoon. You guys meet up for lunch.
How well do you dress, Fingers? You got a suit?
Not one to speak of. Why?
No. Well, I just wanted to know if you wanted to go to a party.
Well, we got 100. We got 100 big ones. I'm sure I can pick up a suit, right? It's an expense.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I can get a suit. How many invitations did you get?
Well, I got 1 and a +1. So I mean, I got 2 of us can go in.
Well, maybe some of the rest of us can sneak in, maybe, or have
I could leave a back door unlocked.
I think that's a great idea. But
do the rest of you have suits? Because you got to blend in once you get in.
I mean, mine doesn't fit anymore.
Well, that's another one. We gotta wonder how fast I can get my tailor to whip up some suits.
You could always buy off the rack.
Are you kidding? Not with me. I mean, they can, but not me. My suits are all tailor-made.
Well, we don't have to be tailor-made. Maybe they've got something that somebody didn't come pick up, and we can alter a little bit. Okay, look, I don't know, right? One tailor, how many suits can a tailor make? We got to do something that's not custom-made, right? These suits are not for you personally, right? There's got to be a way to get some suits.
Well, I have suits for me. I've got plenty of suits.
Well, we're about
just getting you
we're
guys
about the same size. Okay, no, we're not.
Well, how tall are you?
I am slight. And you are. You're short. I'm sorry, you're thin and short. We're probably not far off. Yeah, we could probably swap up.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you might be able to use one of my suits.
Montague, could you maybe pass me off as a bodyguard instead of an invite?
Oh. You do look like a bodyguard.
I mean, I've done it before. I mean, I guess not in such nice scenarios, but I mean, I've backed a friend up a time or two.
I could probably...
Goldman, you still got that badge?
Yeah.
You could just come to the door, flash the badge, and say you're investigating the thing at the docks. Have the run of the house.
Yep, but if anyone calls and checks on the number, gig will
Well, it's
be
going
up.
to be hard for him to do because the phone is not going to work.
Cut in
All right.
line.
Boom.
All right. So it's right about the time I wanted to take a 15, 20-minute
All right.
break. So it sounds like you guys are going to approach the house on the night of the party. Montague's going to have a +1 invitation and bring in Fingers. Meek is going to pose as the bodyguard. And Joe is going to flash his badge at the door to get in under the cover of an investigation or a police search. I got that
Later.
down?
Yep, I plan on being ready to go in if there's trouble.
All right.
I presume I've got a gun that I can use for
Sure.
my days FBI.
If you don't, you throw around a little bit of money and you get a gun with the serial numbers filed off. If there isn't any other prep, I'm going to go ahead and move us up to Friday evening as you guys are approaching the house. Is there anything else that you want to? I'm going to assume that you've got all your various tools and gear and all of that either in the car or on your person.
Driver are you, Meek?
I can drive.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'm going to trust you with my fancy car now.
All right.
Driving my fancy car, me and Fingers there.
All right. So the three of you will be in Sir Montague's car, and then
Right.
Joe, you'll either borrow a car or rent a car to go out there.
I
Right.
think I'd have a car from my previously purchased car.
Sure. All right. Anything else before Friday night?
Think so.
All right. So Friday night, everything is played. The moon is set. The moon is out. Things are ready to happen. You all drive up towards the place, and you start to see, there's kind of cars parked on the road and up and down the driveway as various people. There's some, people in suits gathered out on the porch as you start to approach. And we'll go ahead and take our 20-minute, or let's come back at 8 o'clock, so about 17 minutes. Nice weird number. Brad, is that all right if we take a
That's
little?
perfect fine.
Come back
All
at
right,
8
we
o'clock.
will see you
All right.
then.
All right. Take a bathroom break, grab some dinner, whatever you need, and we'll see you back here at 8.
All right. So we are muted. You can talk. We got 17 minutes. All right. I'll be back in a few minutes. About 11. What's the difference between 10:30 and 11? Well, what about if I mean, we could do 3.5-hour games, right? I mean, that's kind of what game day is, but I don't know. If we need to stop at 10:30. I'm having fun information gathering. I've got all the time in the world. We got a whole week. Is it going to be hot? This has been really hot recently. Oh wow. Oh, hey, it's gonna be it's gonna be cooling down a little bit. So yeah. So it's gonna be in like this weekend's gonna be in the 80s, Sunday's 77. It's gonna be in like the high 70s for a while. Huh. Sounds like a plumber's job, just saying. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Holy shit. You were kicking the other pipe because of you're upset about the grease thing, and then we got a pretty good range of numbers this time. At least they're not all clumping in the mid 40s. Yeah. All right, we have 3.5 minutes, and we can start early if folks want to, but that's what the timer says. Oh, and I gotta shut my door. Ryan, are you here in town? In Kansas City? Gotcha. Yeah, we were just there. You just reminded me I'm supposed to be coughing. I haven't remembered to be coughing. I figured that he had consumption or something, or he's sort of, frail and sickly. That hasn't really been a thing. No. My character Fingers. When I wrote him, I was like, yeah, he's got a cough. He's thin and not really healthy. Hey Ryan, all you gotta do to get a background is just go to your Discord settings for video, and you can just pick one. There's like a whole bunch. There's, I don't know, 6 or 7. Oh, you're on an iPad. Gotcha. Gotcha. So we are coming up very soon. I have not been paying attention. So it is now time. We're going to switch back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back.
right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and people of all persuasion watching on the internet. It's the Roaring 20s, and our intrepid adventurers are going to be heading into the house for their big to steal a key heist. So it's Friday night, the lights are on, there's many cars that are along the road and in the driveway of this house located outside of Detroit off the lake. And you guys are approaching in two separate vehicles, probably a little bit separated from each other. So it's probably a little bit before sunset, but not very much. Probably about like 5 o'clock. So in the dinner time, and you guys are approaching, and you see several people standing out on the porch, waiting to enter the house. As you guys pull up and park your car somewhere along the lane, just head up to the house, or anything special, or...
Well, those of us with an invitation, I guess it's just Julian Montegue and myself will just go up to the line, and then there's the cop who's got a plan, and then you're a bodyguard, right, of Montegue? That was the plan? Is that right? All right. So
yep.
So he's going to be walking slightly behind me.
Right, couple step or two behind. All right.
Yeah, of course, that's protocol. I mean, come on now.
Sounds perfectly reasonable. So the start time for the invitation is 5 o'clock. So it's just about 5 o'clock. You guys walk up. You have just a couple of minutes, to kind of talk to the various guests. Talking to them just kind of seem like average people. There's like some business owners. There's probably some people who have some money. They're all just kind of mingling. Nothing stands out too particular, and after a few minutes, Lance, the butler, opens up the two front doors, and he's standing there in the very pressed, official-looking jacket with tails, and ushers everybody in. And in the foyer, there's like a couple of little end tables that have been set up, and there's some hors d'oeuvres and drinks and things in the foyer, and the door to the dining room table is open. And you see, people are starting to, set out platewares and silverware. They're starting to finish those kinds of things up, finish lighting various candles to get the dining room table. And Lance just kind of takes the invitations as people come in, and just kind of, welcome, just kind of nods.
How many people would you say are out here?
Oh, probably about a dozen or so. Meek, you are walking in as the bodyguard, but you've had an interaction with Lance, the butler, before. So I imagine you probably want to sneak in, either pull your hat down or just kind of sneak in when he's not quite paying attention.
If he sees me, I'm just going to be like, I get the call, and like I said, I'm in training. Doesn't pay yet.
All right. So you're just not gonna try to avoid being noticed. Just
own it.
Right. I'll just own it and be like,
all right.
Need more than one job.
He cocks an eyebrow a little bit, but he looks over Sir Julian. He looks over your invitation a little bit. Looks you up and down. I don't believe you've made it to one of our parties before, sir.
I just decided that I'm checking out. The name sounded familiar, so it's my name.
There is someone here who also, right? Your buddy who had the original. We copied it.
That's true, because you had to borrow it. So
right. Yeah. And I see him.
Yeah. Wave to him. Welcome as always. Right this way. Help yourself to some hors d'oeuvres and champagne in the foyer.
Of course.
I do.
Thank you.
Put my pocket.
So.
Hey, that's my suit. You're messing.
You can afford it.
And if the old man sees me too, I'll be like, you can still call.
All right, it's not too long. It's just a couple of minutes before he makes his way onto one of the landings of the foyer, and he comes out. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for coming. Just a nice gathering of friends to have some good meals. If we could all head into in the dining room, we've got a lovely dinner prepared. And everybody just kind of escorts in there. Luckily, a couple of people didn't show, so the fact that you guys, made up an invitation, there happens to be just enough seats. So there's exactly the same number of seats as there are people who are here tonight. So
winning.
Just enough people didn't. Meek, do you try to take a seat at the table, or do you stay out in the foyer?
Of course not.
I'll stay out in the foyer unless invited.
All right.
I'll maybe check on the car.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, you're.
I'm going to give Meek the look that says now would be the good time to get rid of that cord on the phone.
So you have some kind of arranged symbol or a signal, and so Fingers gives you the signal to pull the cord on the telephone.
Do I know where it is?
It's in the foyer.
When you go out to the car, you can do it.
It's
okay.
Literally the only wire going to the house, so it's kind of hard to miss.
It's in the phone itself is in the foyer. You could, mess it up there.
Rather than break it in the foyer, I'll see if I can see a cord outside when I check the car and rip that.
Sure, it's not too hard. I mean, like I said, it's not. The house isn't wired for electricity. There aren't any gas lines or anything. They're not going to bury the line, a telephone line. It's just going to run along the telephone poles, and then there's going to be one line that clearly goes to the side of the house. So,
doing a roll to rip it?
Yeah, give me a roll to rip it or break it out of the. So it doesn't take you too long. Maybe you crack open a cigarette and you're just kind of smoking a cigarette, taking a slow stroll around the outside. You're able to spot it. You head to the side of the house. Bend down to give it a quick yank. And
sorry.
That's okay.
44.
Yep. It sparks a little bit, but just pulls clean, and you see all the wires come out, and just 1, 2, 3, easy enough for you and the strength of your arm, just cleanly reach down, almost like you're tying your shoe, and just give it a little yank, stand right back up, and you can make your way back to the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
So cleanly done.
So let me guess, we're gonna eat the heads of the previous guests from the last party.
Hey, I should have thought of that. No, they start to bring out the soup and the salad course. There's a couple of extra hands kind of serving and taking, and you can hear a lot of movement and things in the kitchen. And there's just general conversation. The people to the right and the left of you are asking, "Oh, what do you do?" And I imagine you've probably made up some kind of cover story. So they're asking you
I'm
what
an aristocrat. I don't have anything. I don't.
I
do
tell them
anything.
I'm a speculator.
How long have you been? How long have you been in Detroit? What do you think? Those kinds of things. So just some small talk and casual conversation.
Play along.
Now the Montegues, my family is pretty well known, right?
Fairly well known. Detroit's a big place. It's got a lot of families, but yeah, you've got some notoriety.
Apparently 2 separate lines of Montagues in Detroit that are both wealthy.
Well, he's outside, so we don't claim him. He's a long lost relative we don't claim.
Sure. So what were your plans once dinner got started? How were you going to peel away, or where do you go from here?
There's a natural break often between courses and entertainment and restroom breaks and whatever. So I'm gonna take myself anyway. I'm gonna take an opportunity to go to the restroom and steal away to the study, or try to, and just to check it out. And I'm gonna be all. If I head in that direction and I'm encountered by someone, I will say that I'm looking for the bathroom.
Sure. So just kind of as parties kind of casually go on or whatnot, word kind of gets around. There has been a temporary outhouse set up outside for the gentlemen, since the gentlemen have a little easier time using restrooms than ladies do. So just word just kind of gets around that if you are a gentleman and you just need a quick relief, you can make your way outside and around the back of the house. They've temporarily put up an outhouse. You can go there, and then the ladies are almost all exclusively using the bathroom. That is, I think you guys can actually see my cursor. The bathroom that's at the end of the hallway. But gentlemen can also use it. No one's forbidden, but it's just
right. Well, if
words
there's not
are
a line, I
used.
will use the.
There's one person in there and there's like one person waiting. It is a party, lots of people.
Okay. Well, I'm.
Oh yeah, and the bathroom is right outside of
Understood.
the.
And so I'm going to
the
go into the study as a way to kill time.
Okay. Are you going to try to like cause a distraction or slip in there?
No, so there's a couple of people standing in line here, or at least one person standing in line, and I'm gonna I come up and because there's it's up the top of the stairs, right? Come up the stairs and say, say, oh well, I'll just linger for a bit in the study and ha ha ha, and then go into the study.
Okay. Are you going by yourself, or are you coming with anybody else coming with him?
Just staying. I'm trying to keep everybody away from where he's going.
Okay, he's going to go.
I'm going to try to do distraction.
Okay, by himself. Okay.
Well, like I said, I'm going to be talking with the people and being the aristocrat.
Sure. Meek, are you going to accompany Fingers into the study, or are you going to keep an eye on Sir Montague or Sir Julian?
If I get a nod or something, I'll follow. But if I don't, I'll maybe kind of start wandering outside.
No nod happens.
Okay.
Okay.
We should just before you do that, we should probably get Joe on scene.
Sounds
So this probably is happening. It started at 5 o'clock, so all this is probably happening about like 6:30 or so. Joe, did you have a particular time you wanted to show up, and how are you going to get yourself into this party?
I'm going to while the butler and maid are busy working, I'm going to keep an eye on the house, see if there's any disturbance, and toss their places to see if there are any unusual clues.
You're going to head to the servants' quarters and see if there's anything back there?
Yep, it's a separate building if I remember correctly.
That's correct. All right. So you show up probably about like 5:30, 6 o'clock or so. Head out to the back to the servants' quarters, and the door is probably locked, but you either muscle it open or jimmy the lock open.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a roll to kind of search the place, see if you find anything. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, or just see what you can find?
See what I can find.
All right.
54 looks like it's not due.
Yep. Everything looks pretty normal. There's like a couple of drawers that are open because it looks like they kind of dressed quickly. So there's like maybe an extra pair of socks on the bed. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just looks like your typical two rooms that people got ready in very quickly and just didn't have time to clean up after themselves.
Okay.
You probably find like some diaries, maybe like a coffee can of like a little bit of money. The kind of things that you would expect to find.
All right.
Was there anything in particular that you wanted to try to special that you wanted to look for, or to negotiate in for something?
Not really. Just see if they've got any weapons. Do they have photos of family or etc.?
Yeah, each one of them has got like a photo of some family. The butler looks like he's got a picture of like brothers or sisters, some people about the same age, and like an older couple. Probably you're guessing that's probably mom and dad. The maid has got a picture of herself and like a younger gentleman, probably about the same, maybe a little older than her. And it's just the two of them in this picture. And then a separate picture of like an older couple, which you deduce is probably her mom and her dad.
Okay.
Now, if I didn't plan for there to be a weapon. Did you want to find a weapon of some type? Okay.
Nope.
So no, you don't find any weapons per se. There's probably like a sturdy cane in the butler's. I mean, could be used as a weapon, but nothing that, like, no baseball bats or knives or pistols.
He opens the
All right.
armoire, and there's a shrine to Yog Sothoth or something, and just closes the armoire.
Don't want to see that. No. Nobody home.
All right. So, yep, everything looks mostly normal. All right, so we'll jump back over to Fingers. As Fingers makes his way, the first entry into the study there. So, as you enter into the study, like I said, there's a large round rug that almost goes, wall to wall, but doesn't quite touch the corners. And you see the three pillars. There's the three pillars with like the bell jars on it. What you see in those bell jars, let me make sure I check my notes. Need to read over all of my notes right quick. Give me just a second to make sure I don't describe something that is or isn't there. In one of the bell jars, you see a necklace. In another one of the bell jars, you see an old. Let's see, what would it have been? You see some military, like some very old, like 17th century military medals. They have like some writing on them that's in French. A journal that also that is like partially open, and it's also like looks like the writing looks French or European of some type, depending on how educated Fingers is with things like that. And then a picture of a man in like a French military uniform of the 1700s underneath on this pedestal. On the wall, you see a similar picture of that man, but it's floor to ceiling. And it's like him riding atop of a horse, and the horse is like rearing up with its 2 feet up, and he's got a large cavalry saber over his head, and he's in full military uniform, and he's got like men rushing with rifles behind him, and they appear to be like rushing towards like a line of Indians, Native Americans, and they're holding up tomahawks, and looks like they're cheering and rushing towards the soldiers. And here's this French military man with the saber up, and he's posing for the. And at the bottom of it, it says Jacques Charles Renard Dubrisson, and below that it says Buzzard of the Fox Tribe.
Damn.
So it's this big, like, floor-to-ceiling painting.
Like a mural type deal?
I mean, it's not wide. It's, it's only about, it's only about, like, maybe 2 feet wide. 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet wide. But it's almost floor-to-ceiling. It just takes up a large portion of the wall.
Gracious sakes alive.
When I think mural, I think something that runs the entire length of the wall.
So, does the likeness look like anyone at the party? The old man? Anybody? Nothing? No? Yeah.
Doesn't, I mean, this is, you're now looking at the picture. You'd have to, if you go back into but it doesn't strike you as anyone that you saw in attendance.
It seems like it would be I would suspect that it is a family portrait of an ancestor, but does it instead appear to be some type of collectible? Is this like a room full of? This is a room full of collectibles. It's probably not a family portrait. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you're seeing there's some vases that look very expensive. There's probably like various little trinkets. The desk has like a bone ivory like letter opener and pen set. So there's various things of value, but the things that are standing out are the things that are in the bell jar, which are a necklace, the medals, the journal, and the picture. And the picture matches this Jacques Charles Renard
When you say
Dubrisson.
picture, do you mean painting or do you mean photograph?
It would be. Would it be a photograph? I think they had photographs. No, they didn't have photographs in the 1700s. This would be a sketch. This would be like a hand-drawn sketch. So, but the third bell jar that I hadn't described before, you're the only one in the room, so you take a little bit of a walk around the room. In that third bell jar, you see first edition copy of Hoyle's Book of Games, signed by Hoyle, with a set of gold dice.
Okay.
And that is almost enough to distract you from the fact. So as you take all that in, you take in the giant poster, you take in the necklace on the pedestal, you take in the journal and the medals and the sketch of the French soldier, and then you take in the book, the Hoyle's book, and that's almost so much that it distracts you when you look up at the ceiling and you see this design.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
On the ceiling.
Yep. It's like a devil's trap sort of ward or something. But it doesn't look like the symbol that we were warned about. So I assume that is some type of decorative motif. It does not look like the symbol to me, I assume.
The symbol that was sketched out by Mr. Jones? No. But yeah, that pattern it looks like it's been like painted on the ceiling of the study.
I think nothing of it.
Okay. You completely enraptured by the book of Hoyle's Games?
There's fancy stuff all over the place. This is one more fancy thing. Interesting. I'm taking mental catalog of all this stuff, and I'm perusing paintings, looking behind them for a safe, and I'm going to investigate the desk for a safe also.
Okay. Give me. I would ask for, like, you're having to do I'm asking for rolls, but I'm asking for rolls because you're having to do this quickly. So you said checking behind the paintings, hold off on rolls, checking behind the paintings, checking the desk, and then now that you're in here, you can see that Victrola, because I said there was a Victrola that looked a little too big. So you've got 3 different things. If I will ask for a roll for each one. If you want to do all 3, again, because you're having to do this quickly,
it's gonna be 4 rolls.
If you want to, it's going to be 5. If you want to investigate all 3 of them quickly. If you want to pick 1 or 2, it'll only be 1 roll per.
I got the 5 rolls.
Per
I
thing.
got this. I got
5
this.
Okay, you got this.
You got it. You got it.
How do I do 5 with one thing? Is it 5d90?
5d90. Exclamation 5d90.
Boom.
All right, we got 68. That is a miss. We've got 31. That is a miss.
69.
We've got 69. That is also a miss. We've got 42. That is a miss.
41.
And we've got 41, which is also a miss. All of them are misses.
Oh.
So your senses are sharp. You are on your toes. Heart is pounding. Like your fingers are just lightning going over these various things. As you're looking at the various pictures, you notice that a lot of the pictures have been very securely mounted to the wall. So none of them are coming away except for one. There is one painting which is like a lion, that has and it's lion, which for nature lovers, lions don't do it, but a lion that has taken down a gazelle. It's normally the lionesses, but for this picture, someone's painted a lion has taken down this gazelle out on the savannah. And behind that, you do find a small safe embedded in the door. Checking out the desk, you do find there is a secret false bottom to one of the drawers in the desk, and in there you find a manila envelope that's about a little bit bigger than a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So in the desk you find a manila envelope that's about the size of a piece of paper, and it's got some papers in it or something. You find a safe behind the lion, and when you examine the Victrola, there you find a bigger safe, and that is the safe. That's the model of the one that you believe has the key. So there's a safe in the Victrola, there's a safe behind the lion, and there's a package of papers in the desk.
In order and quickly. Take the manila envelope, put it inside the jacket.
Sure.
The wall safe is it's a Mark 12. Those are made in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm very familiar with those, and I'm gonna take care of that one in passing.
Okay.
Okay, that was easy. And then
Oh no! I was waiting for the list. So
and then I'm gonna make my way to the Victrola, assuming that no one comes into the room.
okay. So you've been in there for a little bit. Sir Julian, are you like covering in the hallway, trying to keep people away from there, like engaging
not
people
really,
in conversation?
not necessarily in the hallway, but I'm trying. If I see somebody like headed down the hallway where they might go to the deal, I try to like strike up a conversation with them.
Okay.
To keep them from somebody from going down the hallway per se,
Sure.
But I do it I don't it's not like I grab and say, hey, or anything, but I try to engage them in some kind of a conversation that draws their interest away from where they was headed.
And Meek, are you also in the hallway helping him do this, kind of keeping an eye on him?
I had an idea of something while I was out and about, if you don't mind hearing it.
What you got?
I might, guys, I'm just kind of like moseying around the car, kind of like just checking things out. Can I look over at the construction site and see if there's any weakness in the walls due to the damage?
Over by the garage?
Yeah.
So like, if the walls to the house are weak?
Yeah, like if there's any like pretty like structural damage.
Okay.
Maybe he's run into the house a couple of times too.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And Wade, this is just about the time that you're wrapping up searching the servants' quarters. If you want to make a move or try to sneak into the house, just let me know, and we'll jump in there and get you in there. Yeah, as you go and take a look at like the garage, you notice that the damage now that like the car has been pulled out, the garage is empty at this point, and like some of the broken boards have been kind of cleared away. You notice that some of the boards have kind of come loose to the side of the house, and if you wanted to, you might be able to pry them up. And that wall is a wall that is connected to the study. So if you pried up some of those boards, you would be able to get directly into the study.
I mean, that sounds good. So yeah, that was not my plan, but if I see into the study, I might give it a shot.
Well, you don't see into it, but it looks like somebody has I'll tell you, yeah, for 2 rolls, what will have happened is someone will have like very poorly like tried to hammer them back in, and you think if you pull on those boards just right and kind of undo what they've done, you might be able to remove 1 or 2 boards and make a crawl space into the study.
Stuff out to you.
Yeah, I was going for more of a noise distraction of something crumbling, but if I saw that, I'll go ahead and take 2 rolls and try to step in.
Sure. 2 rolls and you'll get a crawl space into. So yeah, you're looking. It looks like somebody like tried to hammer it, but the boards were a little bit rotten, and it just didn't get put back. So you start pulling on those boards and getting those out of the way. 32 and 29, 32 and 29. None of those are hits. So you can hear playing in the foyer or in the dining room. You can hear like some band, like there's some big band music, and you know this tune. You know right when the big cymbal crashes hit. So as the big cymbals crash hit for the big band, that's when you yank and pull away, and you pull away a couple of doors. Fingers, right as you're getting over to right as you're finishing up with the safe in behind the lion picture, you hear like a board crack or like some wood being splintered behind you, and you turn around and like over near the floor there's like this crawl space that's been opened up, and like Meek like sticks his head through and like a couple of shoulders and like waves hi at you. So there's now like a little access
Jumping
crawl space that's just big enough.
Caesar's Jehovah, what? Where, shh. What are you doing here? I thought you were at the party.
I'm guarding the car.
Go guard the car. I'm doing the thing?
Hey, have you seen a necklace?
Yeah, why?
I have. What's it
It's
look
that
like?
right there.
And he points. It's like on a little pedestal in like a glass bell jar. And you didn't give me the description of the necklace, but it is the necklace that you're looking for.
I'm gonna ask you if you can snag that for me.
Hey, dude, it's right there. I'm occupied. Twist, 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 twist.
Can I get through this hole, or am I like
Sure.
stuck?
Yep. You wait for another big band crash, and yank on the boards, and a couple more boards come away.
What?
Fingers that kind of startles you a little bit, and you have to regain your composure.
I'm gonna go
as you're trying to pick that.
I'm gonna go snag that.
Sure. You're able to call. You walk over to the pedestal, and you just take the glass top off, and you reach over and you grab the necklace. So you are a gentle giant, but your hands are big and strong. So when you do grip something, you have quite a bit of grip strength. You know your own strength. You don't crush people's hands typically when you handshake them. But when you reach for this necklace, like in your excitement and the adrenaline, you reach and you grab this necklace, and as you grab the necklace, it just crumbles and just like goes like just kind of falls apart. And like you're kind of shocked, and you bring your hand up, whatever, and as the sweat on your hand like mixes, like that like if you've ever gotten like sugar on your hands, and like so you've got that sugar sticky feeling as whatever that necklace was made of like mixes with your sweat. So you're getting like a real sticky tacky kind of melted sugar feeling.
Okay. Like, oh crap!
I'm doing the safe. I'm not really paying attention.
And I'll start trying to crawl back out of the space.
Okay, and you're doing you're opening up the lion portrait safe, correct?
Easy
okay.
peasy.
All right, you get that opened up, and when you get that opened up, what was in there?
There's a key.
There is like no, there's not a key. Well, actually, there probably is a set of keys, but it's like normal skeleton keys looking kind of keys. Sorry, piecing some timelines through my head right quick. Yes, so it's probably like just a key ring of like normal skeleton looking keys. There's a couple of stacks of bills. So there's like a stack of like $5 bills like you'd get from the bank. There's a stack of $10 bills. There's 2 stacks of $20 bills, and then probably like some pearl necklaces and things like that, and then a large closed jewelry box. So like a jewelry box that would hold like a bigger piece of jewelry.
I focus on that. I open it. What is it?
It's a necklace.
Got it. All right. Well, I scoop all that out, and I'm like, "Hey, take this. Take all this." I give him the envelope also.
Okay. So Meek Fingers calls you over. He hands you an envelope and like a little bag that he had. Like maybe he had like some extra paper bags in.
It's just I would.
Because it's not gonna be your tool bag. It's gonna be like a disposable
I would have
bag.
brought something in my pants or something to put stuff in. If not, then it's just a collection of stuff, and I give it to him.
Oh, so just like a cloth, like
a pillowcase or something.
Oh, a pillowcase. Okay, that works. Yeah, a pillowcase works. So you like scoop all that stuff in a pillowcase. So Miki hands you like a pillowcase with some stuff in it and a manila envelope.
Yeah, and then Victrola.
Okay. All right, I'll follow his words.
Okay, so you grab that stuff. Do you are you just hanging out in the room or?
Wait right there.
Oh. Wait a minute. Oh. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so Fingers has you. Okay, so now let's jump back out. Wade, did you want to try to sneak into the house or anything?
At the moment, I'd check to make sure the outside phone line is cut, and if not, I'd cut it and then just tie it so it looks like it's still working. But otherwise,
sure.
Try and listen in from the outside. Try and stay quiet and silent.
Okay. You make your way. Go ahead.
Just getting ready for if there's trouble to sneak in and do stuff.
Okay. So you make your way around the house, and you find where the telephone line is on the side of the house. And yep, sure enough, it's been pulled out, and you can see all the frayed wires and everything. You kind of tuck it back in, tuck it like back in the hole in the side of the wall, make it look like everything's fine. But yeah, it's thoroughly been disconnected. And then you make your way over to the study, so you can like look in the window. And as you look in the window, you see Meek standing there, and he's like looking at his fingers, like doing this with his fingers, and he's holding a pillowcase and like a manila folder in his hand, and he's standing off towards one side of the room, and Fingers is crouching down in front of the Victrola, and it looks like he's opening like the doors of the Victrola and starting to get his hands in there.
Okay.
While all of this is going on, Sir Julian, you're in the hallway trying to keep an eye on things. And as you're standing there, two women start walking down the hallway, and they're like, "Oh, I simply must show you this magnificent picture that he has in the study. It's right this way." So like two women are like starting to make their way towards the study.
Said, have I noticed that there's any other kind of painting or anything there in the hallway? That I could try to distract them to look at it.
Sure. Yeah, you want to try? Yeah. So
I want to try to sit there and distract them to look at this other. Oh, well, he also has this painting here that is of such and such, back in the 8 or 1700s of such and such.
So you start making up some stuff, or using some knowledge that you have. Sure.
Yeah.
So if you want to turn on the charm, I would ask you for one roll to try to get these ladies' attention and kind of hold them in conversation, to just be kind of your social self.
Exactly what he does.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Switch
do I
back over to the.
All right. Go. Okay.
So you pick out one of the paintings. It's probably like a picture of like people playing badminton on the banks of a shore, and you start talking about the artist and talking about brushstrokes and start engaging them, like, "Oh, how do you know Master Montegue?" and talking to them and striking up a conversation. And very soon, there it is, 76. All right, that's not a match. All right, so you engage them in conversation. They seem, they're responsive. They're asking you questions about the painting, and you just generally being a charming person, and you've got them distracted in the hallway for the time being.
And if there's another painting, also this here, I just try to keep them there.
Sure.
Giving them a tour.
All right. So Fingers, you make your way to the safe that's over at the Victrola, and so I imagine you're probably going to try to crack that safe.
Pop that thing open. Okay.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be probably standing around. I'd probably be trying to hide this pillowcase in the car, if that's okay.
So you're going to try to get back out?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to get back out, and as you bend down, the hole that you came in had, like, the boards are back in place.
Can I try to snap one and get back out?
Yeah, you push on it. It's like firmly in place. Like, you can't, like, it won't budge. Like, you push and push harder and push harder, and it just doesn't, the boards don't move.
Then I'm just like this big guy who's like, "Fingers."
If I see it, I tap on the window.
Oh, so okay.
Make a move for them to open the window so they can just pass the stuff to me.
You're
Yeah.
tapping at the window.
All right.
I'll stop what I'm doing, unlock the window, open it, and say, "Just a sec."
Start tossing me stuff.
He should already be outside.
Well, hold up. So as you go to reach over and unlatch the window, you reach over for the latch, and as your finger touches the latch, that fingertip goes completely numb for like a moment. You draw back and kind of rub it back to life.
Wow, it must be electrified. I've seen that before. Fine. Yep. Well, I'll I'll use my shoe to do it.
Okay. So you see, like, Fingers takes off his shoe and like uses his shoe to throw the latch of the window and raise the window back up, and then passes you out a
Pillowcase.
pillowcase. There's the word. Pillowcase, and it's got some stuff in it and a manila envelope. In the meantime, Sir Julian, as you're speaking to the young ladies, does Sir Julian know any other languages, or does he just know English?
But I think I know French.
You think you know French?
I
Okay.
think I know French.
I think you do too.
I'm not saying how good I know
Oh.
French, but I think I know French.
Oh, oui,
Right,
oui.
I understand. You
Yeah. In other words, I went to school and I thought I did pretty good, but I'll let you actually determine really how well, I considered it the love language, so.
Sure, I understand. So you know enough to like how to like order some wine at a restaurant.
Yeah,
maybe ask a couple of questions, just some casual, and then of course all kinds of like sweet things that sound very sweet and affectionate and
right. Yeah, we must so. Yeah. I know enough to fake it, but not what if somebody
I wonder
knows
what
it.
French people, what noises they make to pretend to sound American, right? I wonder what that is.
hot dog, hamburger. All right,
Hamburger.
all right.
French
So
fry.
As you're speaking, these two
put it on my
ladies
credit
that
card.
came in, they were speaking English, and as they're talking to you and asking, engaging you in conversation and talking about the paintings and whatnot, like all the emotion, all the energy in their voices, like drain away for a moment, and they're asking you questions and engaging, but what they're saying is like very monotone, like, yes, I like this painting. Look at the brush strokes. And it just becomes very flat and monotone. And then they slip into a very flat, monotone French. And then back into English. And then the life comes back and like, oh, we're so glad that we met you. That is some interesting. And you just like, over the course of a couple of minutes, like just all the life drains out of their voice. And then they switch to French in that same lifeless tone. And then it just kind of slowly comes back up and they're back into English and back. Oh, I think I need to use the powder room. Pardon us, sir. And they make their way directly to the bathroom.
Standing there like, what the hell just happened? In a very aristocratic way.
Sure. And they make their way into the bathroom.
Sacre bleu.
All right. All right, so Fingers, you start working on the safe, and Joe, you're outside. You've got are you going to take those things? You're just going to like set them down on the ground?
I'll put what I can in pockets, and otherwise set it on the ground.
Okay.
You know what a car looks like, so you could possibly find
Well,
it.
he came in a car. He came
Well,
in a car.
he also had a car. He could take the stuff back to his car.
Well, that's
Yep.
true. That's true.
So
Yeah. Right now, just deal with it as quietly as I can.
okay. Are you? And by dealing with it, do you mean you're just going to set it down, or
Set it down, and once there's enough and there's a break, I'll say I'll take the rest back. I'll bring it to my car and then come back for more.
Okay. But you're continuing to stand outside of the.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you get onto the Victrola safe. So Fingers, I'm going to need one roll, if you would. Give me a roll.
One roll only.
One roll, please. So you start spinning the dial and like listening and like feeling with your hand. And you feel all the tumblers. You feel all the tumblers go in, and you turn the handle. The handle moves, and you go to pull it, and it's just stuck, and it won't move. You felt all the tumblers fall. Like all the tumblers are you. The handle wouldn't move up 90 degrees unless you had done it. But when you go to pull, it
Is
just
this some
won't.
type of false front? Is this somebody's clever clever ruse, or I mean, what do I think's going on here?
Not as far as you can tell. The door is just not budging.
I've seen multiple lock safes before. There's usually another mechanism when I start feeling around. And
do I see this?
Yeah, you see him like he jerks on the handle a couple of times, and it
I'll
doesn't.
come over with my non-sticky hand and then just give it a yank.
Sure. I would like you to give me a roll to like just put all your effort into it and just give it like you pull once or twice and it's not moving, and so then you kind of like brace yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting into like fear strength a little bit.
Sure. So yeah, little panicky, heart's kind of thumping. You go and you just pull with everything you've got.
16. Have we rolled that?
Nope. Haven't rolled that one either. Lots of non-repeats. So,
Dang.
you see Meek pull once, pull twice, and then he just really bears down and yanks, and it creaks open. It's like there's a creak, but as it creaks open, Fingers and Meek, what you feel like all the air in the room like rush into the safe, and like all of the candles flicker down to almost out, so it becomes very dim, and like for a moment you're almost trying to catch your breath because like literally you just feel the air rush into the safe, and then things kind of normalize, but the candles don't come back out. The candles stay at a dim, with shadows playing on the wall, this dim light now in the study. But the air is like, you take a couple big breaths to get your breath back.
What the hell did you do?
And Sir Julian, you saw like a steady light coming from underneath the study door, and you see that light from the study door kind of dim down, and now it's dim under the crack of the door.
What's in that safe?
In the hallway.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Is anybody else in the hallway?
No. You know that there's two women in the bathroom. You're the only person in the hallway.
What's in that safe?
In the safe, you do find like a black leather bag that's about the size of your hand.
And nothing else?
What else would be in that safe? More of the metals in that same design as like the French metals that's on the pedestal. There's more metals there, and there is and a helmet, the helmet of like a sergeant of the French colonial sergeant's helmet.
Okay.
And if you can see embroidered, like etched in the back of it, are the initials JCRD.
Jacques Charles, I think I found your hat. Okay, so I'll look in the black bag. Look for the key.
It is the key.
Boom! Grab that. Grab the hat. Screw the hat. What could that possibly be worth? Was there anything else of immediate resellable, non-antique value that was in this safe?
So you reach in and you grab stuff you grab those things out of the safe?
Yeah. That's how I know there's
okay.
a key.
Cool. Well, I didn't know if you left the medals, and I didn't know if you left the helmet.
The medals and the helmet, I don't have much interest in. There's not a lot of gold value, and I don't know much about antiques. So I'm more interested in like the necklace and things that you can readily. I know a market for, right? A fence.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to remember. You grabbed Meek. You opened up the bell jar to grab the necklace. You left. The Hoyle's book is still there, and no one touched the medals, correct? That were on the pedestal.
Correct.
Under the bell jar.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and I took the bag and I thought I put the necklace in the bag, if I didn't say that. Yeah,
the necklace, the bag with the necklace in it is in the pillowcase outside with Joe, the FBI agent.
Can I still not breathe?
No, the air has come, like, it was just for a moment, but yeah, you can take, after a moment, then you can take some big breaths,
Okay.
and the air is back in but the candles are still down to that very dim
Do these
shadow casting
metals
glow.
in the safe resemble those that are on display? Because it looked like
Yes.
it looked like there was a fake necklace and there was a real necklace, and there's fake metals and maybe these are real metals, and
Be evidence possibly that that Joe could sit there and use his evidence to get his captain or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Of course, I'm not there, so I don't know.
They look in the same style, but they do not look like exact replicas of the ones that are in the bell jar.
Same style. Okay, well, I get the bag with the key, and I make eye contact with our guy out the window, Joe. And he's there. Yeah.
Yep, Joe's
Or I
see his head
give
and
it
shoulder.
to Meek and say, get this to Joe. This is the thing. Okay. And then I say, and one more thing. And I go over to the bell tower. I'm sorry, the bell jar. For the book. The book, and the gold dice. And I say,
Okay, got you.
You're coming with me. And then I look.
Let's pause there for a moment. Sir Julian, as the lights go down, you see the light visibly dim inside the study. You kind of are starting to wonder what's going on in there. You're going to stay out in the hall, or do you want to join them?
Yeah, because like I said, I'm the distraction, and I'm assuming, which could be the wrong thing to do, but I'm assuming that they got it all under control in there. That maybe they just dim the lights so that nobody would notice the lights and all that kind of stuff. And so, like I said, I'm just standing guard. If I get the predetermined signal that they are done, then I will go back out and join the party.
Okay. You're out in the hallway, and you hear Finger's voice, and Fingers says, what have they been calling you? Just Jillian or Sir Jillian? What have they been calling you? Sir Jillian. So you hear Finger's voice, and you hear, Sir Jillian, get in here. Like through the door.
Okay. So nobody else, they don't hear it, right? It's just I hear that.
Just you, out in the hallway.
Well, in that case, I will go in.
All right. So you're reaching for the book. He's opening the door, and as he's opening the door, Meek is extending the key out through the window. As Meek is extending his hand through the window with the key, and Joe is reaching up to grab it. Joe, I'm going to need you to make a roll.
Okay.
Kill one of us now.
Nobody's even taken one hit. That would be very difficult. All right, so 60. All right. So as Meek is reaching through to hand the bag, you reach up and you grab a hold of the bag, and then for a second, neither one of you, neither Meek nor Joe, can let go of the bag. And what Meek and Joe see is the curtain, right as Fingers is lifting off and grabbing the book, as he places his hand on the book to throw the book into like another pillowcase or something. It's at that moment that the red velvet curtain snaps out of the window, wraps around Joe's hand, and physically drags him in through the window, just as the window itself slams shut. So the roll was to make sure that you made it through the window without breaking any bones or anything. So this red velvet curtain snaps out the window, wraps around Joe's hand, just drags him in, and pulls him, and the window shuts. And then all of the storm doors, all the storm doors slam shut. And all of you are in that dimly lit room with the shadows inside.
Take a second I got in, they slammed the door.
Can I yank that off of him to make sure it's not suffocating him or something?
Yeah, it was just wrapped around his arm, but yeah, you start pulling at the velvet curtain, and just kind of pulls away. And you, Jillian, you step in the door, like, what do you need? And like just out of habit, because you don't want anybody in the hallway to see, you just close the door, and you hear it click closed.
What you need?
What the hell's going on? This place is haunted.
And Fingers, all you know is, like, for some reason, Joe just, like, launched himself through the window, and the window shut. And now,
am I holding?
Meek is, like,
am
pulling
I holding a book and gold set of dice?
Yes, you've got the Hoyle book and the gold set of dice, and you're, like, putting them into, like, another...
my pants.
Sure, you're putting it into your... Or actually, no, you've probably got, like, a bag with, like, your tools in it or something, so you just, like, put it in. Oh, wait, no, you came in through the front door. You wouldn't have... Yeah. So you, like, you put it in, like, the waistband, you, like, put the dice in your pocket.
Yeah. And, okay. I'm like, stop screwing around. Alright, it's time to get out of here.
He just jumped in. I don't know what's happening.
Joe, what's that about? What are you doing?
This stuff, it... the curses, it just grabbed me and yanked me in. I didn't even have a chance to resist.
Yep. And your shoulder was half, like, it wasn't actually pulled, but, like, your shoulder is starting to ache because your whole body was dragged through this window by your shoulder. So you're feeling, like, a lot of ache and pain in your shoulder.
Let's get that window back open. I use my shoe.
Okay. You move the lock with your shoe, and you go to open the window, and the window slides open, and the storm doors are shuttered.
All right, fantastic. All right, on 3, fellas. I got the book. I got in my pants. I got the dice, and I say, "Hey, give me that bag." Or somebody gives me the pillow bag, and I acrobat out the window. So like.
Okay, you try to force your way through the window.
I opened it, right? I was able to open it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you just try to force your way through the shutter doors.
Oh, the shutter doors are still there.
If you
open the
when
shutter
the
doors.
Yeah, when they got dragged in, all of the storm windows, all the storm shutters closed.
Push that open.
They don't push open.
Push them open.
They don't push open.
Pushing them open.
You are trying to push them open. They still haven't pushed open.
What's with these? Okay, fine. Shut the window. Put the lock back with my shoe. All right, fellas, we're going out the front. I give the bag to Meek.
The bag with the key?
The pillow bag that has basically everything in it. Except
that's
for
outside.
It's outside. Okay, I thought he got sucked in with it. So it's still outside.
No, Joe set it down on the lawn. The curtain wrapped around him and pulled him in.
Okay.
But is the key inside or outside?
The key is inside, because all of that happened as Meek was trying to hand off the key.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha.
So the key is still inside the room.
Hey, Meek, yeah. So put that key in a pocket or something, and it's time to go. We're gonna pretend we're sick or something, and gotta go. Something we gotta do.
Okay, we gotta get that necklace outside of that window, though.
Yeah, it's outside, right? Yeah, we'll pick it up.
Okay. And so, like, all the candle, again, the candles had burnt down, and like all these shadowy figures. So Joe, as these guys are talking about, and like you're like nursing your shoulder, behind Meek, you see like this large shadowy figure of a man, and you see the hands like start to come away from the wall, and you see these hands that are about to latch onto Meek from behind. Would you like to try to warn him, or like tackle him and get him out of the way as this like shadow of a man comes out of the wall, reaching forward towards him?
Behind you, and I'll reach forward and grab him to try and pull him in.
Sure. Give me a roll. Give me a roll as you try to like pull him away and like it's both to pull him away quickly and to avoid hitting anything. 77. That's clear. So Joe like kind of tackles you, Meek, and like rolls with you a little bit, and fortunately he misses like a coffee table, and the two of you just like hit the floor.
What the hell was that?
And it's like shadows dancing on the walls.
These shadows dancing on the wall too.
And Fingers, it's about this time that you start to hear chanting, but the chanting is like Native American chanting. So, like you hear that, that tom-tom drum beat.
Looks like the party must be.
Go like,
the party's
oh, shit.
picking up. We go through the door into the hallway by the bathroom.
Okay. So you make your way to the door and you go to grab the door, and you try the door, and the doorknob you start to spin the doorknob, and as you turn the doorknob, then the doorknob starts to turn on its own, and it just starts speeding up, faster, and now all of a sudden, like the speed of a tire on a car, it's just spinning in place.
Meek,
at about
get us out of here.
30 miles.
Get us out of here, Meek.
I'll get it. I'll try to grip it and yank it.
Sure. If you're gonna try to just like grip, like with your hand strength to like grab the knob and stop it and force the door open, I'd ask for a roll.
Just use your foot.
Yeah.
Just boot the door.
Or you can break the door down. That would also be a roll.
To
batter the door down.
19.
That is our first match. Did you try to? So everybody has 2 hit points. So that will be the
first thing I said out loud was trying to grab and arm wrestle that doorknob.
Sure. Right.
Or hand wrestle it.
Give me just a second to write a couple of things down.
I mean,
as
the
what
door,
triggered
you
the first. Yep, I just need to write down what triggered the first match right quick. All right. So Meek, as you go to grab the door to like stop it from spinning in order to force it open, it just you grab it and you try to use your strength, but when you go to use your strength, it just breaks like your 3 middle fingers. So like everybody just hears a crunk as like the 3 middle fingers on your hand. You tried to grab it with all your strength, and it just spun out of your hand and broke the three middle fingers on your dominant hand. Like just
holy shit.
And yeah, I'll try to hold it not making any loud noises.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's difficult. It turns into more of like a low growl because you can't not make noise. But
I say, Mick, no, what the?
And then
put your shoulder into it.
And then, as everybody of course like turns to him and like looks to see what happened. And then when you turn to look back at the doorknob has stopped spinning.
And I was like, "You try to unlock it or something. That thing's not moving." I mean, it's moving.
Is he the only one that saw it doing that?
No, everybody saw it spinning.
No, man, just put your
place.
shoulder into it, knock the door open. There's not even a lock. It's just a latch.
And to be clear, now it's still. It has stopped moving.
I'm gonna lean against the wall and recover.
All right, I open the door.
It opens.
That's how you do it, kid.
Yeah, so Meek, you're just kind of clutching your hand, like keeping it up to your chest, and right. And there's the hallway out of the.
I'm gonna move Fingers out of the way as I walk by.
So Fingers, you open the door and you're a little bit stunned. It just kind of opened right away, and then Meek just kind of barrels kind of through.
All right,
you.
it is down. It is through that next room and down the stairs.
So you come up to the door that's at the top of the stairs, and what you notice as you come to that door, see if I can. Yeah, there it is. As you come to this door, if you can see my cursor moving, looking under that door, there's no light in the foyer. There's lights. There's a couple of candles in this hallway, but there are no lights coming under the door from the foyer.
Candle time. Are there any candles in here to light or?
Yeah, there's a couple candles. Do you want to grab them? Okay, grab a candle.
And out we go.
Okay, so you go to crack the door, and who's first through the door? The question is who's first through the door?
I would say it's probably up to Meek. If he wants to be first, he's got the manpower to be first.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I push fingers out of the way, not for any purpose. Yeah, just to be spiteful.
Okay, and is everybody going to kind of follow shortly after? Is everyone trying to get out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be in the back with my hand in my jacket to pull out the gun.
Sure. Okay. So Meek is first through the door, and you're getting onto that landing right there, and it's dark, so you've only got like the light of your candle. And as you get into there, sorry, I had a little pop up there. Okay, got rid of that. All right. As you get onto this landing, you hear voices like in the middle, like in the foyer, and if like some light comes up, you see some of the dinner guests. There's like a man and a woman and a police officer standing in front of the door talking, and they're the man and the woman who were guests, you just recognize them as some of the guests from the dinner party, are talking to this police officer, and it sounds like they're giving a report of someone having broken into their car and stolen a purse or stolen some valuables out of their car. But they're doing this in a completely dark room, except for like the candle that you bring in, and I imagine you're probably kind of like shielding the candle, or maybe as the four of you get up onto the platform there, because it's a completely dark room, and maybe just kind of the shadows.
Is that what you meant?
Because it's a completely dark room. If you take a candle into a completely dark room, it's going to light up.
Well,
the space
my intention was to light up the space.
Okay. So the only reason why I was thinking that you might be shielding it is because you may not have wanted to be spotted.
I didn't realize there were people really until we were kind of in the room. So.
Oh, okay. Well, as you're going through the door, maybe you hear these voices. Do you want to shield the candle as you go through the door?
Tell you what I will do is I'll stop at the door, put the candle on the other side, and kind of listen, right? Just kind of observe, see what's going on.
Okay, gotcha. So you're not letting the candle go into the foyer to light it up. Sure. That's kind of what. Yeah. So as you open the door, you kind of hear some voices, and maybe like through the black, or Meek, you see like those three people, like a man and a woman and a police officer, and they're giving a report of having something being stolen out of their car. Joe, you're like the third person, so it's Meek, and then Sir Julian, and then Joe, and then Fingers. You're in the back, like holding the candle around the corner to like limit the light that's coming onto the landing. Joe, when you come through and you're standing on top of the landing, you don't see a man and a woman and a police officer. You see three people in black robes talking to each other in a language you don't understand.
Okay.
Shit.
And to be clear, Meek and Sir Julian, you see two people, and they're talking about like a police. Yeah, our window was broken into, and I had my purse in there, and my parasol, and my mother's pearls, and like, oh, and I hate to admit it, officer, but I had a firearm. And Joe, you're just hearing them like, just this like guttural, like Germanic language, and they're standing there in like black robes.
I'm just looking at Jillian, wondering what I should do next, because I'm already sitting in the room.
Are they focused on anything in particular?
They appear to just be like in a triangle, like facing each other. So they're like just facing each other in a triangle.
And nothing's in the middle of it.
Not that you can see. Not there. Yeah, there's not a light down there. It's mostly dark. You're getting a little bit of light from the hallway back where Fingers is. And Fingers, as you kind of poke your head around, yeah, you see the woman and the man and the police officer.
Let's get moving. We got our own cop with us. This is all good. We'll just walk casual, leave.
I don't see them as cops.
Nope. You see three figures in black robes facing each other in a triangle, speaking a guttural Germanic language. You can't understand.
What do you? Okay, so out of character, right? You're saying you don't see them as cops. I'm like, I don't care. Let's just go. You did not describe what you see. Is I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah, he hasn't said that yet in character.
Yep, I'm going to say no. there's something wrong about this. I don't see cops. I see 3 weirds.
What? Look, man, I got 500 large at the other end of this key. Let's get out of here. Get paid.
There's stuff in the shadows. And I think if we go down there, we'll be spotted and taken care of. How do you think we had that spinning doorknob? There's evil and magic afoot.
First of all, there's no such thing as magic. And I've seen lots of weird booby traps going on. Can we just get out of here and not worry about this? If you're scared of something, plug it a couple times and keep moving.
That won't work, but let's try it anyway. I grumble.
Gee,
So what are you doing?
a bunch of...
I'm going
For
to...
the front door.
I'll barrel ahead then, if that's what
I
the
have
group
never
wants.
had such a crew
Alright.
go all fraidy cat on me.
All right, so you all barrel towards the front door and try to knock those guys out of the way and force your way through the front door.
Yep.
All right. To do so, you got Fingers like gives a quick 1, 2, 3, and then he pulls the light into the room. You all start running down the stairway. All 3 of the figures in the various forms that you see like look up towards you. Joe, in your case, they don't stop with the guttural Germanic chant. For the other people, they all the cop and the gentleman and the lady look up at you. But those of you that are seeing the cop, the gentleman, and the lady, when they look up at you, their eye sockets are empty. Like there's no eyes in their eye sockets. It's not dripping blood. It's not, their eyes are just, it's just empty black
What
pit.
the hell?
And I'm gonna need a roll from each one of you to like do your various parts, to force your way, to like knock them aside or to open the door. Like, so everyone make one roll to make it past these guys and force your way through the door.
Oh,
I
are you
guess,
kidding me?
Is that a closer?
I got a...
What was the
Well,
last
Oh,
one? Was
never mind.
19.
I
We got a
misread
90. We got, oh no, I'm sorry, 19. We got a 67.
Me.
that. I thought 2 90s popped up for some
Oh,
reason.
nope.
that
67 is a match from Wade, and 59 is not a match, and
63.
3 is not a match, and 77 is a match. So who matched 77? Brad. So Fingers matched, and who was the other match? The other match was 67. The other...
Me.
Okay, well, that was Joe. All right. So you guys, pull the light into the room, barrel down the stairs, and these figures, the people with their eyes missing or the people in the black robes chanting, they start trying to grab and grasp at you. Joe, one of them rakes their hands shoulder to finger, and you just get these long finger gouges down your arm as they just rake into each one of your arms. So one finger rake down each arm, and Fingers, you one of the men just hauls off and headbutts you, and you're kind of
Oh my God.
stunned and staggered as he just this giant forceful just grabs just headbutts right into you, and but you all make it past and Meek kicks open the door, and you tumble through the door, and as you tumble through the door, you come out on the landing. You come through the door and come out on the landing at the top leading towards the attic. So if you could see my mouse,
What the...
the front door drops you off
What's
right
going
here.
on? Are the cultists still behind us? Or cops? Or
Well,
whatever?
you're not. You can't see the. You look back and you see the attic.
Okay, yeah.
The attic door is
Right,
open and you
right,
see
right.
the attic.
So no, it would be the answer that I would need there. And we're looking down. There's a door like that?
There's the attic door which opens towards the attic, and then there's a stairwell down, and there's a door at the bottom of the stairwell.
Is it lit, or is it just the candle, or what?
You're holding the candle, but it is lit in this room, and there's light coming in from the stairwell, or there's light coming in from the attic because the attic door is open, and it looks like it's like the afternoon.
Like I said, I sit there and say that if we get up there in the attic, we can maybe I'll get off the, go down off the balcony. Is what I say.
Yep, and again, there's a lot of light coming through the windows of the attic, like it's the middle of the day.
I understand that.
What?
But I still, now that's a place that we could possibly.
Yeah. Take the lead. Take the lead. So
Okay.
the lights that are in this room are candles or what? Kerosene?
Well, you're holding
Well,
onto a
right.
candle, and it's lit that you brought with you, and then there's just daylight coming in through the attic windows.
All right, lead on, Joe. Get us out of here. You know these fancy places.
Julian. Yeah,
I'm
Julian.
sorry,
Yeah.
Montague.
So I'll lead.
Okay, you lead, and as you lead to the French doors that lead to like a little balcony on the second floor, you come to those doors, and those doors are open, and there's like glass doors. So the French doors were covering up some glass doors. So you can see through the glass doors, the French doors are open on this little balcony. And as you look out of the house, like over the balcony, what you see out in the yard is... sorry, I'm trying to think here right quick. Yep, okay, there it is. What you see out in the yard is coming through, like out near the... Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here very quickly and talk at the same time, and it's not working very well. Over near the tree line, you can see a man in that French military uniform with that helmet that you saw, and he's coming through the tree line, and he's just fighting off Indians, like slashing them with his saber and kicking them with his boot and things like that. And as he clears the tree line and comes into like the clearing around the house, it's not like a flesh and bone man. It's like it's spectral and ghost and like that shimmering see-through. And he looks up towards you guys and sees you on the balcony as he's just kind of like throwing down these spectral Indians and like fighting them off of him. And he points his saber and like levels it towards all of you and starts to just very slowly, his feet come off the ground and he starts floating up towards the second floor balcony as all of you are kind of standing there looking through he's going very, very slowly, lifting off the ground, pointing his saber towards the second balcony. Is starting to lift off towards
We gotta get out of this place. Go, go, go!
Can I get through the windows?
Okay, so you're gonna try. If you try to push the glass doors open, they don't open.
Break it, it's glass!
Is there something there I can pick up to try to
Sure.
break the glass?
Sure, there's like a box or something. There's like
Okay,
a wooden
I do
box
that.
you would. Okay, you pick up the wooden box and you like throw the wooden box into the glass doors. And all of you guys, all of the actual players, you've seen like slow motion footage before of anything at all, just slow motion footage.
Right.
So the box hits the glass doors and it breaks and it starts to shatter, and then it just slows down into slow motion. You're experiencing everything in real time, but you just see the glass and the glass doors just move at that speed of like slow motion, like frame, and you like can look over at each other, and you're looking over at each other in real time, like it's smooth, but the glass from the glass doors is moving in that very stop motion. And as it starts to get about, as the glass starts to shatter and get out about 2 or 3 inches from the door panel, it just freezes. And so the glass just freezes in shattered.
Alright, back down the stairs.
And you see that French soldier just slowly start to just maybe 1 foot per minute just slowly glide up towards that second balcony door.
And asked the group, who the hell is that
That's
guy?
John Charles, the Buzzard of the Fox tribe. From the painting.
And I look at you and I'm like, what? Who is that? Are we gonna ask
He's
him
a
for
famous
help?
Indian fighter.
Yeah, and again, it's just this spectral form, and he's like holding up his cavalry saber and just slowly.
Like you said, somebody lead the other direction.
Back.
All right. So you head back down the stairwell, and burst into the hallway, and then there's the hallway.
Next room.
Which next room? Do you want to go
door,
into the
yeah.
foyer, the bathroom,
foyer,
or the
foyer,
study? Foyer. Okay. So you open up the door that's across from the attic stairwell into the foyer. You went through the front door and you came out the attic door.
I'm just verbalizing. So we come in here again.
Yep. So you open up the door to the foyer and you open that up, and when you open that up, the floor so there's the stairwell, there's the stairs leading down to a little landing, and there's another like 4 or 5 steps to go to the floor of the foyer. And as you open up that door and you're standing up on the top landing, the whole bottom floor of the foyer is just this wriggling mass of worms. It's just earthworms, just wiggling
Can you put your
and going
mouse
up.
where that is?
I'm sorry?
Can you put your mouse where this is?
Right here. So like all this tile area, this black and white tile area, is just a wiggling mass of like earthworms and things of that nature. Is that working? Can you see the mouse cursor?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
What is going on in this crazy place?
I'll just start running up the north stairs and trying that door.
So you came through this door. You want to run over to this door?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head over there and you open that door, and yeah, it's the hallway. So you see, like, if some people are standing there in the hallway, that's the other hall. You see the door to the bathroom, and you see the door to the study.
We haven't gone all the way across that hallway, have we?
There isn't a door there.
I'll run to that door because I'm freaking out.
I'm sorry, there is not a door here. There is a door here to the attic. There's a door here to the bedroom, here to the study, here to the bathroom, and then 2 that lead into the foyer.
I'll try the bedroom.
The bedroom? Okay. You open up the door to the bedroom, and as you open up the door to the bedroom, you see the bed, and the window that's in the bedroom is midnight. And you look over your shoulder and there's daylight in the hallway. But the window in the bedroom is showing midnight. And there's somebody like softly snoring in the bed.
That didn't sound like a soft.
Can we see what
that
it
was more
looks
like
like?
a creepy snore than a soft snore. Just saying. Future reference.
Can we tell? Does it look like the old guy?
The covers are kind of drawn up. Do you want to go over and look?
No, but I will.
All right. In that case, if you go over to pull the covers back to see who's in the bed, I'm going to need 2 rolls from you, please.
It turns out we're in the bed. Cha, 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 cha.
So you said if I put...
Yeah. So Sir Julian walks into the room. Like, everybody's kind of like... Meek is like holding his hand, like maybe a little confused, trying to like... Fingers is probably kind of holding his head, kind of like because he recently got headbutted and then saw this ghostly French soldier coming up to the second room, and
now,
Sir Julian walks over.
I do like a 2, and then exclamation point.
No, exclamation mark is first.
You would
Exclamation mark is first.
Okay.
And then
a
the
D.
number of dice, and then a D.
2.
Right, and then a D.
Oh.
Okay.
And then 90.
90.
And hit return.
Yep.
Okay.
So he wanders over and he pulls back the covers. 37, 34. Those are clear.
Woo!
as you pull back the covers, this living corpse. You pull back the covers and reveal this living corpse, and it just just the torso. The torso rips away from the legs, and just this torso of this corpse clambers onto you and is and is clawing at you, and you just you luckily saw it enough, and you use the blanket and kind of put the blanket in between you, and then push it off of you and kind of scuttle back a little bit. And so there's this, the legs of the corpse are starting to kick in the bed and move, and the torso kind of rights itself and starts to drag itself slowly along the floor, and you can see
how rich and a aristocratic I am. I shit my pants.
Fair enough.
I do. I mean, that's all there is to it.
And you can see bone peeking through.
You can smell it probably.
Flesh is sloughing off, and the flesh is changed. It's got that gray tone because it hasn't had blood in it forever, and it's just slowly starting to grip its way across the floor.
I'm gonna go kick it in the face.
All right.
I pull out my gun, stand back, and I try and put a few bullets through its brain.
All right. So you certainly can kick it and fire a couple of times. If you just want to do the motions, that's fine. If you actually want to kill the thing, I'm going to ask for 2 rolls. But if you just want to kind of fight it a little bit and maybe shut the door, you can do that. But if anybody wants to kill it, I would ask for 2 rolls. So
do the 2 rolls, I take it?
You can both try to kill it.
You can both do 1, or...
I'll do 1.
Okay. So Meek steps up and he just starts stomping this thing in the head with his boot. Yeah, you can split up the rolls so each one of you does 1. 54. That is a match. And Meek, I believe that is the second.
Oh no.
And then Joe pulls out his gun and fires a couple of times.
77.
77. That is also a match.
Shit.
That's the third 77. And Joe, that is also your second match.
Yep.
So...
Oh my god.
Joe pulls out his gun and starts firing off his gun. And as Joe is firing off his gun, we see that French soldier come through the window and just slowly make his way. And then as he comes through the wall, he immediately locks eyes with Joe and then races forward at lightning speed. And you see a spectral ghost sword pierce through Joe and pin him to the wall. And then it just stares him in the face, and as Joe gasps, and you can see the French soldier just breathe in deeply, and you can kind of see mist and smoke coming out of Joe's mouth and going into the soldier. And as you see it, his ghostly shape starts to, it doesn't really solidify, but it gets thicker and comes kind of white and a little bit corporeal. And Meek as Meek is stomping on this zombie, the legs roll out of bed and trip him, and the French soldier comes by and knocks him down, and then the torso of the zombie is able to clamber on top of him, and it starts raking at the back of his head, and it's got Meek pinned face down on the floor, and it's raking at the back of his head, and you can just slowly see as the nails just rake through his hair and then rake through his skin and then start raking through his skull, and then it's the just each rake, it just keeps going through each layer. These things are inhumanly strong. Skin, muscle, takes the bone, the skull off, then starts digging into the brain, and then just starts digging through, and then you start seeing it pulling up wood from the floor. So it starts pulling up wood, and it dug its way through.
Got it. I'm not seeing any of that because I'm outside of this room, running like a scared, frail safecracker. All
right, so. Couple of things. One, so that would have been effectively a double tower fall. If you'd done it a little slower, we would have. But both those rolls came in, and I didn't expect it to be 2 matches. So that's basically a double tower fall. So both those characters, we've narrated their unfortunate. So Sir Julian and Fingers are going to get a brand new 90, and you guys are so close to the end. There's only a couple of more tasks to overcome, so we're just going to kind of narrate through that because I think the odds of you guys matching in the final kind of scenes of this is very unlikely. Right? So we see this French soldier as he's pinned Meek to the wall, and you just see him like breathing in his life, and the French soldier slowly starts getting more and more solid, and you guys break for run. I imagine you're going to break probably for the front door. Am I right?
For the nearest exit, yeah.
That would probably be the front door.
Did not work once. Why would it work a second time? Brad the player wants to use some Brad knowledge, but I don't think that. Okay. I don't think the Fingers would really have Brad knowledge, so I think he would probably just run around like a chicken with his head cut off until he died or got out of here.
No helmet?
You haven't tried you want to try the cellar? You haven't tried the cellar yet.
I'm sure things are better there.
Always better in the cellar. Haven't you seen those commercials?
Fingers says to Julian, "We got to get back to that study. Put this shit back."
Okay. Julian, do you follow him?
I'm scared shitless.
Sure. So
absolutely.
you guys
said that because you did leave your shit like on the floor.
I understand that. I am shitless.
So you leave you hear the prying up of the boards in the bedroom, and you hear the life force slowly being drug out of Joe into this French soldier. You jump into the study, you slam the door shut. As you slam the door shut, you see the rug on the study floor. The rug is like there's light coming up underneath the rug, and you see that pattern that was on the ceiling. Let me try and get that pattern that was on the ceiling. So that pattern is now starting to rotate in a circle, and there's light coming up underneath there's like illumination, like light coming underneath the rug that's on the floor. And you guys try to like start putting the stuff back.
The things I have on me are the poker book and the dice.
And you should have the key somewhere. You might have scooped it up as they dropped it or something.
I definitely got that key when the skeletons started clawing apart Meek.
Sure.
So totally just skis that key from his dead fingers as he was, and then, fuck that key. Things went sideways when I got this book. I'm going to put the book back, put the dice back. I'm going to keep the key for the time being. And
does any symbols of that picture we got resemble these emblems on this thing that's circulating now?
The picture you got was just like this sketch, and it was just circles and lines. It didn't have anything filled in on it, so it just looked like a quick sketch. So you don't see like that sketch had like triangles and some bigger circles on it, so you're not seeing those. You do see like light coming underneath the carpet, the big rug that's in the middle of the room.
Here's what we're gonna do. Julian, grab that side of the carpet. Grab that side, and we're gonna tear it up, like lift it up, and
as you lift it up, you find these symbols under the carpet, and like the circles and the triangles are like flowing. They're actually like moving, and the triangles are going around in like a triangle pattern, and the circles are twisting and rotating in some clockwise, some counterclockwise, and all the objects are like moving and spinning and alive, and are emanating like a soft green light.
This is coming out of the wood, the floor. What?
It seems to be like on the surface of the wood. It doesn't seem like it's in the wood. It seems like it's above the wood. So if you line them up, the two symbols would look a little bit like this.
All right.
Which looks a little bit like
full-on Illuminati bullshit right here.
So the circle on the ceiling is starting to move, and these circles underneath the rug are starting to move, And you were trying to put if you pull the rug back, you throw over the pedestals.
Yes.
To reveal these moving and illuminated symbols that are moving around.
Fair to say. Yeah.
And I'm going to need both of you to make 2 rolls each, please.
Sure.
And we'll make sure that we'll see if we get any matches right quick. So if each of you can make 2 rolls each. 86. That's right, there's nothing, so all of them are clear. 58.
Okay.
Just see if somehow you guys accidentally...
Yeah. Okay. So we do exclamation point.
So,
2.
Fingers, as you've pulled the rug, whatever, back, and as you do that, you find yourself with your back towards the lion painting, and the lion in the lion painting becomes peels away, and this paint lion tries to, and you just look over your shoulder at the last minute and roll away, and just the shoulders and the head of this lion are this, but it's clearly made of paint, but it's just trying to chomp at you. 14 and 82.
What was in that food we ate?
And Sir Charles, as you've pulled back this or whatever, you're near the Victrola that has the safe in it, and you kind of looked back, and all of a sudden, the legs of the safe are moving, the legs are are moving like animated legs, and the door to the safe is slamming shut, and it's trying to slam on your ankle, and you just stumble back and kick it a couple times in the door. So this safe is animated and alive, and it's slamming the door shut, trying to slam its door on your ankle, and you're kicking it away and jumping back from it. And so and then what do you
grab its feet? Let's use it to break the window.
You're gonna try to pick up the safe and throw it through the window?
You got something better? You got a better idea?
Yeah. No.
All right.
I'm open to suggestions.
So no, that's a great idea. So you're gonna need. So this thing is actively trying to snap, and it's it's heavy metal. It's a safe.
We're gonna get it from behind.
Fight it off. Throw it through. Sure, but it's gonna fight you.
Sure.
This thing is animated. It's gonna fight you. So I'm gonna need 3 rolls each. So each one of you give me 3 rolls. And you start to pick it up, and it starts to snap on your hand and smacks you on the hand, and maybe you feel a bruise, and lift it up, and then it wiggles out of your hand. You got to chase it down and pick it back up again. 28, 51.
And here goes mine.
And 8. And then we've got 58. 58 is a match. You did match. 76. And then 79. But Sir Julian, you hadn't had a match yet, but you did match on 58. Okay. So, one time when you go to pick this thing up, and it slams on your hand and breaks your wrist, and you just feel ice going through your veins on your wrist, and you just start to see your whole hand go black. And I don't know if Sir Julian has ever seen it, but you get frost. Your entire left hand is just frostbitten from the wrist down, and it was broken as this safe snapped closed on your hand for a second as it's snapping its door closed. So your whole hand goes frostbitten and your wrist breaks. But you take your other hand, the two of you pick it up and you throw it through the window, and it shatters through the window and breaks through the storm shutters, and you can see outside, and it's the night. And it's a night, it's night outside the lawn.
Jump.
All right.
Out the window.
Your left hand is just screaming in pain. Your hand is all black from the frostbite, and you guys both dive through the door.
Now, actually, there's no pain from frostbite.
Okay, no pain. So yeah, so your hand is not your left hand.
But it's just hanging there.
Right, and it's black as black can be.
Right. Oh yeah.
All right, you jump through the window, and as you jump through the window, you see the envelope and the bag, the pillowcase that has the stuff in it. I imagine you pick those things up.
We're out of here.
And All right,
Right.
you guys pick that stuff up, make your way to the car, jump in the car, and as you pull away, you can like see the people in the dining room, and they're all like talking and having eating food or whatnot. And then as you're crossing the lawn and you get into your car, all of their heads their shoulders don't move, but every single head in the entire dining room snaps towards you, locks eyes with you, and watches you both jump into the car and drive away. And then off, you don't notice it, but we still see the camera as all of their heads turn back and they just keep eating their dinner. And you guys drive down the road and away from Montague Manor.
Jesus Christ.
I know that's right. I know there's a reason why I don't do these kind of jobs.
You're the thrill seeker. You're the rich
All right.
playboy.
This is beyond thrill seeking.
Oh my God.
And with
and
with
now
that,
I'm going
you
to
have-
lose my hand.
Yep. And with that, you have escaped. So you guys can kind of tell me, kind of narrate how all this wraps up with Fingers and Sir Julian. Sir Julian, you obviously head to the hospital right away and start getting treated for severe frostbite on your left
Yeah.
hand. You obviously lose the hand, but you spend the next couple of days in the hospital. Mr. Jones does visit you in the hospital after he meets with Fingers. Fingers, you turn in the key and he gives you the $500. I don't know if you have a conversation with him, but he'll have a little bit of a conversation
I do.
with
The conversation goes like this. The
Okay.
others were detained. I'm picking up their money.
you. That was not part of our agreement.
Well, if
Here's your
you want the
500.
key, it's the agreement now.
Oh, Mr. Fingers, I don't think that's what you want to do.
You want this key, right? Well, my people want their money.
And my people know your people. $500 was the agreement.
Each. 500 each.
And the others can collect as they like. I'll be in touch with Meek and Joe.
This guy's creeping me out. Fine.
He turns you over, and I'll visit Sir Julian in the hospital. You didn't tell him, but he said, I'll visit Sir Julian in the hospital and make sure he gets his money as well. I thank you so very, very much.
I don't know what kind of freaky tiki bullshit you've got going on here.
That's bad manners.
But you do not call me again. You understand? You lose my number.
Till we meet
won't.
again. And he picks up the bag and puts the key and puts it into his breast pocket. Stands up, puts a $20 bill down for the meal, and tips his hat, and walks away slowly, and makes his way out
take
the.
money. I take the 500 from the envelope or whatever,
Mhm.
and it might be time to leave Detroit.
And Sir Julian, you don't ever meet Mr. Jones, but at some point you find an envelope with like $500 beside your bed in the hospital, and you spend probably the better part of a week recovering and having some surgeries and.
Retire at home
Sure.
with the family. And my thrill seeking is over. This was more thrill than
So,
I could ever
Do you
thrill
go back to
about.
Montague Manor? To your house?
To my house, yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So
Or I should say to my mom's house.
and you said Fingers leaves
It's-
Detroit.
It's time
and-
for a change of scene.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for playing Dread tonight. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank
Once
you
again-
for running.
Yeah. Once
Yeah,
again, if you'd like to
definitely.
give us a follow here at Twitch, we'd appreciate it. If you're finding us on YouTube, if you can give us a like or a follow or ring that bell, we'd appreciate that as well. So, gentlemen, thank you for playing. And if you'd like to ask me any questions or if you'd like to talk about the various secrets or things you had going on, I would love to discuss those things with you.
All right. Well, I
Secrets other than I knew about the Indian Mound.
okay. Well,
Yep.
well.
He gave me Indian Mount, and Jacques Charles Renard Dubrisson is actually a French military in the 1700s who I think not once but twice conducted a very barbaric attack, probably massacre is probably the right word, twice on the Fox tribe.
Good grief.
But I made up the title of Buzzard of the Fox tribe. That's not actually a thing that he was titled with.
Until now. Any other secrets?
Or if you have questions for me.
So
that necklace is supposed to be for a kidnapped brother, so he's gone too.
Well, the necklace made it out, but they had no idea where the necklace needed to go. There was a fake necklace under the bell jar, and the real one was in the jewelry box that was in the safe behind the lion.
So we successfully fenced.
Meek was a good guy.
We
That was the whole reason why I was there.
We were able to fence that stuff that wasn't the key.
Mm-hmm.
Became fabulously wealthy.
Yes,
at least in the
sure,
short
fabulously
term,
well.
And moved to Florida, Miami. Yeah.
All right.
I presume my boss and nephew still got to keep their position.
Yep.
What was their position?
So yeah, unless the record. So if you open up the manila envelope, you're gonna find some dock records for like some diamonds, like a diamond haul, and you'll find some names on the various records and manifests. If anybody bothers to research them, I can tell you who the names are. But if you don't bother, it's just some shipping manifests for a shipment of diamonds.
I don't know if I would know how to use that.
I don't want nothing at all to do with any of it but my money.
Sure.
Got it.
I'm sure.
Fingers can have it all.
All right. Oh, I like that. High risk.
I'm already got
High risk,
rich,
high reward.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
But the only stipulation is nobody ever finds about that he shit his pants.
Well,
I'm sure there's a conversation you have in the
maybe
hospital.
20 or 30 years from now, we'll meet up again at some rich, swanky soiree, and I promise I will not tell anyone.
You just gift him a pair of pants.
Oh, and I get a mechanical hand.
Okay.
Like that, where it's not really mechanical. It's just, it's almost like
a golden hand.
Right, yeah, it's not, it can't move or anything. It just, what movie did I see that in anyway? But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Are these golden dice lucky by chance?
No, I just intended them to be golden. Just a temptation. Just to get you to open the bell jar.
It worked.
Was there any way to get the key out without activating it, or?
Probably not. Because I mean, the whole point of the episode is to activate the circles and the ritual.
Everybody.
Not to kill everybody.
Well, most everybody. Oof, great Caesar's ghost.
So if those rolls had come in a little slower, it only would have been one. But since they came in back to back and
2
matched.
and a third.
I'm sorry?
I said 2 and a third people.
Yeah.
Because you got my hand.
Yeah, because both you and Brad matched. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4,
that's
5,
true.
6. We had 6 matches. So yeah, I may move back to 100 because that was a lot of matches.
Yeah, but
I mean,
we
you're
went
bound to have
forever
that.
not having
It's
any
true.
matches.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah, it's better than that.
This is actually a pretty good ratio, right? I mean, as far as outcomes, like at a table game, you would have typically a couple people who didn't make it. That's what we had. It's unlikely that everybody would fail. So this curve seems to be about right.
Oh no, that was 31, 32. It took about 36, 37. I'm kind of doing math quickly. It took about 36, 37 rolls before somebody matched twice. So no, that is about right, I think.
I like this. This wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Okay, so 90 might be about the right number.
Now, like I said, if we were choosing Jenga, I'd have been gone the first 5 minutes.
Noble sacrifice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well, Brad,
but
should we
it
go ahead
wouldn't
and
have been on purpose.
do a official sign off and end the
Yeah,
recording?
thank you everybody for watching. We're going to go ahead and roll our credits here. Thank you. We'll catch you next time.
Take care.